let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I've been with you, when you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Saturday Night by the Progressive News Show of Let's Be S3. I am your co-host, Marlon, along with host Anna Hart.
Hello, hello.
So actually, I shouldn't even be saying that. So let's try this again. Take two.
Hello, welcome to Saturday Night By. You're too funny. Uh, I don't remember the rest of the saying. Something about Let's Be S3. And hi, we're happy to be with you.
Close enough. On today's show, it is Anna Hart's show. It's on mental health and mental health situations, issues, and that's always been up Anna's alley. So she will be the first to speak, and I will be second, because some of these, even when I rewatched them, more stuff started coming in my head. But I have to learn that what's a good way of saying it? Since my horizon has been broadened as of the last 3 years, 4 years or so, that I can't always just jump in and say, that's crazy, you nuts. I can't jump in and do that like the good old days of doing it. Like I always figure there is something behind why this is happening. So Anna is my sensei when it comes to these type of things. It's like, you know, every time I figure that I do understand what's going on, Anna will come and go, no.
Or not quite.
Or not quite. So this is why I said this is the Anna Hart edition of the show. We have two stories. Both of them are pretty long. Both of them have multiple things. So just keep that in mind, because if I play part one and everybody gets up in arms, because I'm getting emails of lately, well, you never said there was a second part of it. And, okay, you're right. So I think about this, and then the next thing you know, you changed it to something else, and now, okay. So these two stories, two separate stories, have multiple parts. So take the first one with a grain of salt. The second story is a little bit let's just say the second story is going to catch you off guard,
Mm.
and it's going to lead you in an entirely different direction. So just be prepared for that. But anyway, Anna, how's everything going?
Everything's going really well, actually. I had a really great support group today. Um, Beautiful rainy day, and I've been busy, but like a good busy. How
Okay.
you doing?
Honestly, pretty good. I mean, I'm feeling a lot better than I was last week. Thank you for everybody that put up with me from last week. This week is a lot better. Um, you can tell by the way I'm talking, because I actually know what I'm saying instead of and what's that word I want to use, but I can't because I can't remember it or pronounce
Mhm.
it. But yeah, this week was pretty good.
Or like
Let's see.
somebody that says compromise instead of comprise.
Oh,
Dude, I am so sorry. Like that said something so not what I
entirely different.
wanted it.
I got a video when we get to Foxy's videos of the week. If you can't hear her in the background, making all that
Mhm.
doggone noise.
Well, I heard that,
See,
but I did not hear what happened before. But I heard they can't hear anything.
she was personally banging on a wall. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go ahead and see who's already out there. And I'm going to start off first because I'm a little peeved. I got a little attitude. Um, Well, hell, since Anna has more lights than I ever had before the show, please keep the lights coming. Share the show. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Most importantly, enjoy. Oh, you know, Theus was coming on. Hey, Theus.
Hey.
So yeah, I checked I checked the show before the show even comes on, and Anna is up to 6 freaking lights, and I'm like, Anna,
I'm
let
one
me
of
get my
them.
two.
I'm one of them. So,
Okay.
and I like this because it helps.
It does. It does. It
Um,
really do. I appreciate everybody who do hit that like button. And I will tell you why from this second statement from Parker. I feel like that we were 305 subscribers like a week ago, and now it's already 328. That's wow. It doesn't feel like it. That's exactly what happened. We were 304, 305 this time last week. And
yep.
we build it up to 328 in a week. So yeah,
24 people in a week.
yeah, something like that. We
A math.
thank you all. I appreciate it. That takes two. Tanya, I have no idea because I can't remember what I said. So about feeling better than last week. Yeah, yes,
Or
yes.
that we had to go through the introduction again, but
I don't know.
royally failed the introduction.
That I've been saying for 3 years straight. Um, hello, Susan.
Hello,
Hello, Mother Hart.
Mama.
Hello, Tracy.
Hello.
Who? Oh, then Parker finally come in and
Mm.
says hello. Hey, Parker.
Hi, baby boy.
Uh, yes, Tracy. Yes, but wait, there's more. Yes, you won't have to say that. Yes, these are several things. So yes, there are more. I think Thea's is having some issues on this end,
Mhm.
but I hope we'd be able to listen to some of these. But without further ado, let's get this party started. Theo, so you better now?
Yeah, man. I don't know what it is about. Hey everybody. I don't know what it is about StreamYard. I cannot use my Bluetooth headphones. Like it never works. And then I got a different pair this time, so I was like, well, let me try them out. I've been using them all day, and nope.
They just won't let you do it. That's
So I
kind
got
of
to go with my
shocking.
old school Target. Tried and trues.
Ain't no wrong with that. StreamYard used to say they would not like you to use Bluetooth because the sound, there's a delay in the sound. I never saw that issue, but I never knew that it just stops you altogether. So sorry.
If you hear the, pardon me, the earlier audio of me, I went through a number of headphones trying to find something that, I mean, we had Special Agent Johnson, we had some buzzing.
Today?
Not today,
No, just throughout the
in the
Oh.
past. But when
Oh.
I just went to the phone, used its microphone, used all of its stuff,
just
no earphones. That's why sometimes I have to lean in to hear, but it's okay.
I wonder if you could hook your phone up to speakers. Would that change anything? Like you'll still be using the phone's microphone, but you'll be using outside speakers for the sound.
I don't know. When I
It's a
used to use my
Bluetooth
computer,
We'll have to test
then
that.
I had my Bluetooth headphones and they worked fine, and I had my external microphone and it worked fine. It's only I'm using my cell phone and it just doesn't like it.
Well,
I don't know. And I went to the little for those techie people out there.
yeah.
I went to the settings and I played with each of the three options and none of them warmed it.
Wow.
Hello,
Wow.
LL.
I feel your pain.
And
Hello, everyone.
you may be right because I broke down a lot of the video. A lot of people made comments about our take on Bo of the Fifth Column.
Oh,
So, but just because a lot of them made comments doesn't mean that they subscribe. Because I remember another video that got into the thousands of views, 2.4 something like that before, and I think I got 3 subscribers off of it. So it's something
Either
that
way,
we are doing.
thank y'all for watching.
yep.
Please leave your comments. I'm
Yes.
sure you don't agree with me, but that is okay. I am still right. And subscribe. Subscribe so you can continue to chat and tell me all the things that you think that I am wrong about, but I'm right. Except when I'm wrong. Otherwise, I'm right.
Yeah, we're finna go ahead and get into this first story because I'm not even gonna try to figure that out. I already lost enough brain cells listening to these stories twice. So here's the first one, and I'm just gonna give you the title. There are several parts to this story, so again, please do not fall off the hinges. Do not fall off the face of the earth on the first two till we get all the way through. I mean, you can make some comments on one and you can make some comments on two, but just don't formulate your complete total conclusion until we get to the end. That way, y'all people can stop emailing me telling me you keep changing my mind because you keep telling me there's more to the story. Stop emailing me that. Now I'm telling you there's several parts. Okay. My girlfriend thinks she's a baby.
I'm a 34-year-old man. My wife is 32. My brother is 27, and my brother's girlfriend is 26. My brother's been dating his girlfriend for about a year now. She's a nice girl, but at times her behavior is odd and erratic. She asked over and over again to babysit for my kids, a 3-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. My wife and I have always said no. This weekend we had a barbecue and she was acting extremely strangely, only speaking in a baby voice, not talking to any of the adults, and running around with the kids. My wife pulled me aside at one point, extremely upset. She found my brother's girlfriend in our 3-year-old's room in her playpen/ball pit area, sucking her thumb covered in our daughter's blankets with all of her stuffed animals. Yo, what the f? My wife was completely confused as to what was going on, and when she asked my brother's girlfriend what she was doing, she responded in a baby voice that she was tired and needed nappies. My wife immediately came to get me, and we both confronted my brother to ask him what the hell was going on. My brother got extremely embarrassed. He said that his girlfriend has dissociative identity disorder, and one of her alter egos is a 3-year-old girl. My wife and I don't know anything about this disorder, so we didn't really say anything, just told him to please go get her and keep her out of the kids' room. He went to go get her, but within 15 minutes, he still wasn't out. I went to go see what was going on, and his girlfriend was extremely upset, insisting that he calls her Evelyn, our daughter's... Yo, what? Insisting that he calls her Evelyn, which is our daughter's name. That was the last straw for my wife. She told her to leave. My brother's girlfriend starts straight up sobbing, using her baby voice, saying she's confused and doesn't understand why everyone is being so mean to me and calling her the wrong name. That night, my brother called and admitted that not only is one of her alters a 3-year-old, but it's very specifically our 3-year-old. Yo, what the f, guys? What the f? I try not to cuss, but what the f am I reading? He said that he can't talk to her about this because when she's not her Evelyn alter, she doesn't remember anything, and when she is her Evelyn alter, she isn't rational. My wife and I told my brother that she's not allowed at family functions anymore, and she's not allowed around our kids. My wife was extremely upset and told my brother that his girlfriend was psychotic and that she wouldn't understand why he was still with someone like that. My brother is upset that my wife said those things about her and said that he understands that we would be upset about her having an alter of our daughter, but that she can't help it and we should be more understanding because it's a disorder due to childhood trauma. Did my wife handle this the right way? We know nothing about this disorder, and doing research into it, the medical definition definitely doesn't seem to match the way my brother's girlfriend is acting. To be clear, she doesn't have an official diagnosis. Apparently, it was rude of my wife and I to ask if she was getting treatment or had a diagnosis because therapy isn't available to anyone and self-diagnosis is valid. She comes from a very affluent family and definitely has the resources to get therapy and a proper diagnosis.
This is Anna's show, so she always going to go first on every story.
Oh, I forgot it's Anna's show. Sorry, Anna.
VID is absolutely a serious condition where you have present at least one other personality separate from the main one that you show, where they have their own, sometimes distinct voices, memories. It is, yes, very plausible that while in this state, if this is what this girl has, that she does not remember at all. I cannot make the whole therapy is not available. It is. You do have to search sometimes, and this is a time where you absolutely have to go.
All right, Theus.
So, listening to this story, I have to admit I was quite offended just listening to it. Like, I get Like I would be extremely, weirded out
Yeah,
if I walked in on that situation. But at the exact same time, I mean, I don't know. It was almost like they would like there's a way to do things without having to be cruel. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, don't bring her around the house no more, right? Because I recognize she doing whatever she dealing with is not good for my household, right? So make that call, cool, what have you. Uh, you don't see her as a danger. You just see her as being really weird to you.
right.
So
Icky
I
even.
just, yeah, it just felt wrong to me. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. It's like this person, whatever her diagnosis is, whether she's been officially diagnosed or she's self-diagnosed, the fact is something isn't quite right.
Right.
Um, but she doesn't seem to be presenting as a danger. So I don't know. I just felt kind of offended, real talk. Um, and then yeah, things like, well, she's chosen our daughter's name. Well, that could just be because whatever her issue is, that name sparks that age issue that she's dealing with, and so
Not
she has an attachment
trauma.
to the name. Boom, there you go. You pick up the name, right? Who knows? It's a
Right.
chemical imbalance. Who knows what that is? Um, so I mean, I actually say bravo to the brother who is dating the young lady
Right.
because
That's a
he's
lot.
taking on that, right? He cares enough for her that even within that, I'll help you with you when you're in those moments, and then when you're not in those moments, then you're my lady, and we're doing it that way. And I commend that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long he's gonna be able to hang. I don't know. Hopefully for a long time. But I think that was pretty cool. But the siblings, they just need some sensitivity training or just to be exposed to something else. I don't know. But yeah, that wasn't all that cool to me.
Yeah. It's it could have been, obviously something is wrong. The mother picked up on it, and yes, you have every right to have a safe environment for your kids to grow up and not wonder why is potential auntie, you know, it's a lot, and we don't know everything yet. So let's go on to part two.
Okay. Um, the only
Sorry,
thing
but
that I'm going to put out there really quick is while I would understand the parents saying that, hey, I don't want your girlfriend around this family, whether you're a misunderstanding of the diagnosis or whatever, your safety of your family going to come first. Like proof is going to pop out of your head. Then maybe you'll do some research and go, maybe I didn't answer that. But at the very first beginning of
Mhm.
seeing something like this, that's the first thing that's that's the first action that you're going to take. However, having said that, no, you have absolutely no right to go. Your girlfriend is not allowed around any of our family functions. Like, I'm sorry, I'm what? Like, if you don't want them around you, cool, I get that. But you can't dictate and my mama and my daddy and my grandma and my sisters and my brothers. Like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Do
whoa,
you
whoa.
think they meant that?
Unless in
Well,
Because
this
if that's what
case,
they
yeah,
said,
I
and
agree.
if that's what they meant, then they're in the wrong for doing that. Like you
Yeah,
can
and this,
clearly
yeah,
say my family, like this dynamic right here, but all family functions, like no, you can't do that.
right.
I mean,
I
you
mean,
can say it, but
I took it
Yeah.
as it was simply the we
their
don't want
kids.
you in our house with our kids. So the family functions that we throw
Made it so. Okay.
may, I could be wrong.
But let's go
Either
ahead.
way, it's an interesting thing because I mean, you're looking at a 30-year-old woman who has a dissociative situation, diagnosed or undiagnosed.
Right.
Especially in today's society, most people are undiagnosed. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
And so they either end up harming themselves, being harmed by someone else, or put into the prison system because nobody else knows what else to do with them.
Right.
That's very true, Susan. We
That's what.
haven't heard how the kids have reacted to her. You know, were they?
Kids probably could care less.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
3 and 5. They're like, this the cool on it. Let's go.
Right. Please. Maybe.
all right, let's go
you
ahead
know.
and get to part 2 real quick. Here's part 2.
And then OP posted an update. So to start things off, my wife and I have done a lot of research into dissociative identity disorder. Right off the bat, I'll be blunt here. I do not believe in the fad of dissociative identity disorder or anything that goes along with it. Then OP goes into a long paragraph where he basically argues that he thinks a lot of people are faking dissociative identity disorder. Now that that's out of the way, my wife and I have heard from my brother after the party. He thinks that we owe his girlfriend an apology. We told him that he owes us an apology for not telling us about his girlfriend's erratic and psychotic behavior. I'm not using the term psychotic to be insulting. I really do think that she's experiencing some sort of psychosis. My wife told him that due to his extraordinary lack of judgment in bringing her around our family and our kids, when he knew about this, we didn't really feel comfortable having him around our children without one of us directly there either. We encouraged him to get her to see an actual doctor and get checked out. We told him that we'd be willing to help her look for doctors in the area if she needed support and didn't want to involve our family in this for whatever reason. But we also told him that under no circumstances will she be allowed around our kids again unless she goes through intensive therapy, realizes what she did was wrong, and apologizes for it. Yo, what? OP clarifies, hold on. By the way, she does have a TikTok account where she pretends to be my daughter.
Am I waiting?
It's still Anna's call first. Let's Anna wants us to pass it on.
I'm okay to wait.
This is. Please tell me that there's more.
There's more.
She has an account where. I mean, okay, number one, I am sorry, OP, you are wrong. The Mayo Clinic recognizes DID. There have been studies, there are cognitive behavioral therapies, but you're categorizing this as she knowingly did wrong. Unless you can prove to me that she's really knowing what she's doing. Like these TikTok, I don't know what to say about the TikToks. I need more information than one line. This?
I mean, my whole thing is this, man. Y'all, hey, and people, whoever hears this video at some point, I challenge you to use. No, not even challenge. Forget that. That's empty. Think about the context of how this message is being relayed by the brother sister, right? And the logic center that they're drawing from. It is textbook conservative, fake Christian love bullshit, right? It's I don't believe your lived experience. However, let me help you, but you must accept the help the way I choose for you to receive said help, given that I don't believe you have a problem in the first place.
Yeah.
You can use that on race, mental health, gender issues, and it almost always comes from a conservative standpoint because they don't believe it unless they physically have dealt with it themselves. It's something about the way their brain works. And so you look at this, and I'm like, this is offensive. I'm still offended. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really are concerned about helping this young lady, then offer to help her, right? Find out what the obstacle is first. That's the first thing you need to do, right? You don't know
Right.
if she's already seeking counseling or help for this. You don't know if she's already under physician's care. You don't know anything. You've never spoken to her. You only spoke to her boyfriend, which is your brother. And he's only giving you what he chooses to give you. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't even really care about this young lady. You are virtue signaling. You are condemning this person for not being what you want them to be, then imposing your worldview on top of them to qualify for your empathy and compassion. Fuck you, right? And oh, I'm sorry, first hour.
That's all right. You already owe me $1.
I spelled it with a P. But
Yes.
anyway.
But you said it with an F.
But yeah, it's just that mentality is, it's okay with me if you don't understand. It's okay with me if you don't
Right.
even want to understand. It's okay with me if having what you walked in on, because it would have freaked me out to walk in on that, you say, get the hell out of my house and don't come back here. That's okay with me too. All these reactions are perfectly fine with me because you have the right to react the way you choose, so long as you're not trying to physically hurt somebody. But
Okay.
to then turn around and condition your care on their behavior meeting your expectations, that's where I have a problem. That's the same thing that when people do things like they want to give homeless people, they say they care about homeless people, but they won't give a homeless person $5 because they might go buy drugs with it. I'll go
Right.
buy you a sandwich. Did they ask for a sandwich? Maybe they wanted French fries. Maybe they need the $5 because they live in a homeless encampment where they put their money together at the end of the day and they buy pizza or they buy sodas or they buy something that feeds multiple people for a certain amount of money. But you don't care about all that. You worried about, if I give you this, how will you use it?
Yeah.
I don't like people like that. That's just, don't do it then. Just don't do it. Just distance yourself from this woman. Let your brother and have his relationship. It'll rise or fail based on its own merits, and just be out of it. Just be out of it. But I don't like how that went. Not at all.
No.
All right, I'll give my thoughts at the end of the third video. So this is
This
the
the third one.
this is the
Yeah.
third and final
And
video.
fine. Okay.
They ain't comment no
Then
more.
we have another update. This is probably going to be my last update because we've since cut off all contact with her and my brother, and we're in contact with the police. She refused to get inpatient psychiatric help willingly, but her family put her under a 5150. What is that? Is that where they force you in? 5150 is the number of the Welfare and Institutions Code, which allows an adult who is experiencing a mental health crisis to be involuntarily detained for a 72-hour psychiatric hospitalization when evaluated to be in danger of others, themselves, or gravely disabled. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Long story short, the girlfriend approached our child while she was at the park with the nanny. Oh my God. Luckily, the nanny knows about the situation and removed our daughter immediately, contacted the cops, and then contacted us. She tried to tell our nanny that we told her to pick up our daughter and take her to her grandmother's house. She waited until it was close to the end of our nanny's shift to make it more believable. Luckily, the nanny didn't engage with her. She just picked up our daughter and walked away, recording the entire incident to have proof. She ran after the nanny, telling our daughter, "Go ahead, Evelyn. Tell her you know me. We're going to go to Grandma's." Her family told us that there's never been any abuse in the family. She's never claimed to them that she has DID, though they've long suspected that she has histrionic personality disorder. My brother hasn't contacted us since this happened, but my wife doesn't want contact with him anyway, and I agree with her.
Histrionic. That word itself is steeped in trouble. If you have a hymen, you could be hysterical. Basically. Look, I understand, and good for the nanny. Bring the child out of the situation. This woman is not well. I hate the involuntary um stays in the hospital because I've seen that abused. I've known people who they were not in danger of themselves hurting others. They really wanted nothing to do with others, and some people receive really terrible care in these places. I really hope she gets the help that she needs. She is obviously not remembering. Something is going on. I don't know what. So let's do all of the disclaimers. Nobody here is a medical doctor. Nobody here is a psychologist, psychiatrist. We have not dedicated our lives to studying the way the brain interacts with the rest of our body. We do know that we don't know so much about our brains. Connections can be crossed. You can say red when you mean blue. You cannot remember that you have a whole other, well, you cannot be aware that you have a whole other personality. I still brisk at how uncaring this couple seems. Like I said, I understand. Protect your kid. Once the nanny had her, the kid wasn't in danger. As far as I can see. I don't know. Marlon, do you?
I don't know what the diagnosis. I didn't know that much about the diagnosis. I didn't know what DID was. Diaz was spot on as the thought process of the OP. Like that is textbook conservative when it comes to situations like this, down to everything he said. I agree with everything that was said in that. Only thing I can literally add to it is I don't think the diagnosis that she diagnosed herself with DID, I didn't think that was it. Especially when the TikTok situation came out, and it's like, okay, no, I'm not believing that because I need to figure out, okay, which one of your personalities is holding the camera?
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not even trying to be funny when I say that. I'm literally not. Because if you're saying the 3-year-old is being recorded by who? Because at that point now you're telling me that the two personalities are working with each other. Yeah, Anna, it's confusing. That's why I said, something is not right.
So,
I
But
didn't take
so
that as one personality interacting with anything of the other.
that's what I
and you
mean
put a
though.
phone, you put
How
your camera on a tripod.
who put it on the tripod? The 3-year-old or the
No, but
2-year-old?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right, so all the stuff I said before, I still stand behind with a couple caveats. Um, Once you try to take my child, we are almost out of empathy. Okay, and I say almost because I'm aware of your situation, and my child was not harmed. So those two things are critical for how I'm going to react. And you were unsuccessful. So those three things. So from there, it becomes all right. She needs help. I echo what Anna said about I don't. That's one reason we don't have asylums anymore. One reason we don't have asylums is because the conservative movement decided they didn't want to fund them. But
Right.
the other reason we don't have them is because they were really horrible places. They were old folks' homes for the people with mental or behavioral problems. They were just way that you stuck people over there and all but forgot they existed. Um, so yeah, how I would like for this to have turned out, because one of my concerns is this family, the mom and dad thing.
Mhm.
This will just further entrench them. This will give them a sense of I was right
I was right.
the
Yeah.
whole time. And that's the hard part about dealing with people who are operating from like what I call dinosaur brain or from just a lack of knowing. They don't they can be wrong 9 times. If they're right once, they dig in, right? Because now they have a confirmation bias that flows in there. So that's one of the things I wish was different here. The young lady being put into uh uh what do you call it, the
The
2120 or
hospital.
whatever they call that thing.
5151.
5151. Good. I mean, that's really the only
Mhm.
option you kind of got, unless you
Yeah.
have money. If you have money
Right.
and resources, then you can do that same thing, but do it from home. A little trickier, but that's why you got resources. You can get lawyers and power of attorneys and all that stuff to help your loved one. But yeah, it's just a really, really messed up one. The thing that this story does most, as far as I'm concerned, is it draws out our willingness to care and be concerned about something that we may or may not be able to relate to directly.
And
All
we may
right.
not have institutions anymore that are, yeah, we shut down the asylums with good reason, but we have wings of hospitals dedicated to mental health. And like I said, I've seen that really abused, where um, a mother who really didn't want to take care of her adult daughter who had the same condition that I have, tick-borne infections. She called and initiated an involuntary stay on her daughter, who, like I said, just wanted to be left alone at that point and was not hurting anybody, was not in, she wasn't in any place of power, so it's, yeah, I go back and forth. This young lady, she needed to go to the hospital. I'm sorry. I can still not like it.
All right, everybody, we're going to move on to the second story that has 4 parts in it, and I'm not particularly sure we're just going to fight through it and finish the story, or maybe we'll just roll over into the second hour. I don't know yet. But I'm just gonna give you a fair warning. It turns left like pretty quickly, um, pretty early into the story. It just goes a direction that you just not gonna be prepared for. But anyway, the love of my life.
I, 34, female, have always been a filler person. My parents each had a kid they obviously favored. My mom favored my younger sister, my father my younger brother. I'm the friend that is ignored in the group. I'm the employee whose birthday is forgotten. I'm the person who doesn't get dates. I've gotten used to it. As a result of being this agreeable, filler, boring person, I think the people around me don't realize that I'm a real person who has needs like everyone else. The prime example was when I said that my chest hurt and I coughed all the time. The people I spoke to, and I know only a few people, said that it was not a big deal and that I'd be fine. I'd never complained before, so I should be fine. I took that to heart and wondered if I really should have told people that I didn't feel well, and wondered if I was making it up in my head. It took me a long time to actually tell the doctor my symptoms because I thought I was overreacting, but I had to get checked out. Well, it turns out that there was something wrong with me. I have stage 2 lung cancer. I'm still independent and handling this alone. I drive myself to and from appointments, I pick up my medication, I reason with doctors and insurance. I haven't slacked in housework or at work. In fact, I've worked even harder. Today at work, I told my friend I couldn't help her move as a favor because I had a medical appointment that day. She pressed me for details, and I just said that I have treatment for lung cancer. I didn't want to give her more information than that. My husband complained that I told her the information gleefully, as if I'm happy about the news. I told him I'm happy to be diagnosed because it's proof for myself that I'm human with needs like everyone else. I wasn't crazy. He said I shouldn't act like this. My husband has been unstable and touchy about random things this year, so I don't know if he has a point. Am I the jerk? Edit. I'm in therapy. My therapist and I are working through things, and she's been very helpful. I feel somewhere between a filler person and an automation. Filler people aren't real. They don't have complexities in life, and they exist solely to make others shine. Machines don't get sick. The diagnosis was something that was concrete. I exist. I'm a person. I'm not crazy, and it's not in my head. I don't want attention from others. I cried and felt relief in the same moment.
Wow, can I relate to that? I mean, I can't relate to feeling like a filler person, but this whole doubt of, am I even reading my body correctly? It is difficult, and it is. When I got my diagnosis, I called up my mother, and I sat down on my coffee table, and we cried tears of joy. It had taken from tick bites in 1998, it took till 2001 to get my first test that said something. I finally got to a doctor who knew, okay, I know a test that's actually sensitive enough, and I know that the testing for this stuff normally sucks. That's actually true for a lot of our tests. And when you have something progressing inside of you, like cancer, like a neurological disease, you feel something wrong inside. You know something's off. But if you're told your whole life that you are nobody, you are worth nothing, that's trauma after trauma. Yeah, I'm so glad that this was caught. She didn't say what stage that I remember. And I wish people could be just a little less I'm missing the word. Mean. I wish people could be a little less mean, a little more kind when they come across something that they do not understand.
Let me go real quick, this because I want to get to the second and probably the third video before we go.
Okay.
That's where it's just like
It's another 3-parter.
4.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
you're just gonna move us all the way into like sadness. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because like Parker said, this story is just sad. I mean,
I'm gonna give you a fair warning.
100% remember what the story was, but yeah, let's go ahead and
Cancer.
there's gonna be some sunshine on the end of this somewhere.
The second hour, I promise. The second hour. But this
None
is
of the story?
no.
Oh.
But this is me. This is my opinion. Period. Not reflective of the two people that's on the panel right now. This is me. But this is when I learned the hard way. A long time ago, the hard way of stop the BS, get over it, or man up, or it ain't that bad, or I had it worse, or I know somebody who had it worse, or I'm not going to the doctor because that's not manly, or I'll be fine. I've had it before and I got over it, or ma'am, sir, are you on any medication? It sounds like a joke, but I'm not joking. Sir, ma'am, are you on any medication? No, I'm not on medication. Then we look through the charts. But ma'am, you have two forms of different medication for cholesterol and heart disease. Oh yeah, I don't take them no more because I'm cured. Stop this. Because this woman, I promise you, like I said, it's my opinion. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not doing any of those things. But it do sound like to me that's how she was. That's how she grew up, with just suck it up and get through it. Cold, flu, pneumonia, whatever. It was always just suck it up because there's something more important that you need to do. So you need to just. You're gonna feel bad for a couple of days, but I promise you'll get over it. Just take Robitussin. No, I'm sorry. Just take some tussin and you'll get through it. Just like your grandma did, just like your mama did, and you can do the same thing. So you grow up with that mentality that when there's something wrong with your body, it's not something is wrong, it's something that's wrong with your body temporarily. And all you got to do is fight through it, and you'll be better on the other side. Because this whole thing started off with her coughing a lot. Well, other than her normal circumstances, just like millions of other people's circumstances, what's a cough? You congested?
Asthma, bronchitis.
It's usually a cold to flu to bronchitis.
And what are those? Temporary illnesses. You'll get through it.
I have to say there is an innate, there is something serious. I don't know what. There is an innate, my life is somehow in danger. This did not, I mean, this sounded like the very first time that she actually spoke up and said, I don't feel well. And it took such an event, such as cancer, for her to say something.
And
I guess I'm a little different here. Well, and I'll probably be proven wrong. So yeah, let's go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, this is when. Yeah, just hold off. You're probably right, as usual until you're wrong and won't admit it. But let's go ahead and get to the part where I said it took a left turn. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not even going to be on the screen when we come back because I just want to see people's faces.
Thanks to the comments, I think I know why my husband has been unstable and touchy. The beginning of this year, the love of his life got into a car accident and broke her femur. She survived and is healthy now. I think that could be part of what's concerning him. My illness is a reminder that she could have passed and she could still pass, and life is unpredictable that way. I alone wouldn't inspire such emotion in my husband. The comments made me realize that my husband likely felt hopeless at the concept of death. I traced back when he started to become touchy and moody and realized it was when she got into that accident. My husband has asked to help, but there's nothing for him to do. I've taken care of everything so far and will continue to do so.
May I? No, I'm sorry, Anna. Go first.
The husband, but there's the love of the. No, please go.
So this is gonna sound real insensitive, folks, and it's very simplistic from where I'm coming from. So to those of you like myself who are close to people who deal with emotional or mental issues, understand where I'm coming from or what I'm about to say here.
Okay.
Sometimes shit gets exhausted, okay? Because your battle or struggle, if you will, is yours. It ain't mine. It ain't society's. It ain't everybody else's. It would be nice if people would be nicer, like Anna said. It'd be great if people have more compassion. But other people don't owe you any of that. Nor do they owe you an endless well of patience. So this lady is going through childhood trauma, family trauma, whatever it may be. But I've listened to people do what it sounds like she's doing. The woe is me deep in there, usually it's come out of the depression, but it's woe is me. And then they create these stories about the people around them, and it ends up shitting on them, which furthers their issue that they're trying to work through. So it's almost like you find culturally or societally, you can look at it as kind of like where you start to live in the struggle, like it becomes a part of your identity. The actual struggle, the pain, becomes a part of your identity. It actually becomes part of your safe space. Maybe her husband, that's what it is. But unless he said that, that could be projection that we're listening to here. That could be a manifestation of her pain, trying to rationalize what she's feeling and going through. She's already feels like she's alone. Her family made her feel like she was alone. Now she grown and she feel like she alone. She got a husband and she feel like she alone. So is she truly alone? If she's already shared that she's dealing with these particular issues emotionally and psychologically, is she truly alone, or is she in a position where she can't quite process that she's not alone? See, I think that's worth considering here. Because it's real easy to just take what the OP says and make the husband a villain and make the family a villain and make all these other things a villain, when reality could be she has a true medical need. And part of how it manifests is how she perceives the world, not how the world's perceiving her. So I just have a little bit of trouble with how the story was kind of flowing because it's a little disjointed.
Yeah.
So it's like on the surface, I hear where she's coming from, and it makes you feel, oh, poor baby, this is just terrible, just terrible. Hey, and it is terrible that she's dealing with whatever she's dealing with. But given that, I'm taking that as the reality, what she's dealing with as a real thing, that will slant her perception of everything else. If you've ever been in an emotionally fragile state, it changes your perception of everything. You don't think it does, but once you calm down and you go back and look at things, you be like, "Oh yeah, that ain't really." That's why they tell you don't make big decisions in certain
Mm-hmm.
states, because you're not seeing the world accurately. And in this case, we have someone who has shared with us she doesn't see the world accurately, and she's trying to relate her story. What she, that part just really, it just pricks a nerve for me, because like and here's where, Anna, you're probably going to really get off the bus with me, because I had touched bases with you on this before, where, and this is anecdotal, but multiple people that I know work with counselors and therapists, multiple, and they get on social media and it's like they're just broadcasting their trauma. They're not sounding like they getting no better. They just, it's the same story, different actors over and over and over. And you're like, damn, are you getting anything out of this shit? You know, and that's where I come to my earlier point about that's your path. But to the rest of us, that shit gets exhausting, because we're the ones who try to tie back in each time you're going through one of these bouts and say, no, it's okay. Hey, you know, I'm here, you know, let's go get something to eat, or let's go do this, or, you know, if you just want to talk, I'm here. And that takes energy too, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares for the caretaker? So it's like, this story just hits on so many levels for me. Like, I feel for her, because cancer ain't no joke. I've lost too many family members to cancer. It's unfair. It's a lot. And mental illness on top of that, or emotional illness, whatever her issue may be, because it could be one of the two or both, that's a lot. And then being tied to that person who's going through all the things I just named, because she's carrying all of them loads. That's rough. Now, you be in love with someone and you're trying to figure out how to help that person, and you've been riding the roller coaster of their emotional waves, and then they say to you, you don't care about me. This is all about your ex-wife. How would you feel?
She was an ex-wife.
She was a
But,
ex-girlfriend.
Or ex-girlfriend. Or ex-girlfriend. How would
okay.
you feel?
I was not sure how to take in that at all.
And then people would look at him, guarantee it, this ain't even supposition. People would look at him when he taps out as he gave up on her. When the reality is, her issues are so heavy, it's hard for her to carry them, much less the people who care about her to carry them. And at what point does his or any other member of her circle's mental health matter as much as hers does? And this is how so many people with mental illnesses end up alone. And that's where society is supposed to step in. When you've burned through all your natural resources, society should have a safety net there that says,
Mm-hmm.
we still can find a way to help you if you want help. And I know that takes us to a much larger discussion, so I'll stop that right there.
All right, and we're gonna stop all together.
Yeah.
With respect to Anna, we're gonna just move on to the second hour. So we're gonna play the last two parts in the second hour. I may skip the second part and just tell you what the second part is, because it's really the.
I'm sorry.
No. I'll even
Anna, I
tell you.
apologize
I'll
if I
even
said
tell you
something wrong.
now. I'll
You
even tell you
didn't.
now. The third part of it was she literally told her husband, "Yeah, I know you feeling some type of way about your ex-girlfriend," and she is saying that he was relatively surprised that she even that she knew about her, and she said, "This is something that you need to close," in which he felt more excited about that prospect, so he immediately called her. They're going to meet up next month. He's been more affectionate to the OP now and things like that. The only reason I didn't stop you, Thea, is because I know that changes things. But the only reason I
It
didn't
doesn't change things much for me because it sounds like the story just went into straight bullshit land. But go ahead.
Where are we at now? $7? But okay.
No, because it's 10:02.
No, look at the comments. I've been keeping up. You got to read the comments when we go to break.
Oh man.
I kept up with all of them. So we're going to go ahead and go into the second hour so we can go ahead and play the last part of it, which for me, I really feel like the last part of this story is the most important part of the story, which is why I want to play it. So we're going to go ahead and take a 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side with a full second hour. Am I the a-hole, real or not? Mafia video of the week, and of course Foxy's video of the week. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I always stay dreaming, never imagine I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Higher to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
Hey everybody. Hey everybody. I literally was sitting here thinking, man, I feel a lot better than last week, so I ain't gonna make no mistakes when I do pay the bills. And then, yeah, started off with not putting nobody on. But anyway, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please support Tracy at buymeacoffee.com/Tracy Media LLC. Help support Tracy in all of her endeavors. Please help support Anna in all her endeavors by going to BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. If you need to reach me, which a lot of you have, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. And yes, tomorrow, Radical Truth to Power is on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in. I have no idea what the subject is. I'm pretty sure I know what the subject we will be discussing. But again, I don't want to get so deep into it because it's a moving target. It moved dramatically within 24 hours. But we may discuss it and we may just look at a couple of videos just to ease my inner peace, so to speak. Let's go ahead and look and see what's going on.
Well, if I could I want to answer what Thea said, because you said I would step off the bus. No, actually I didn't. Therapy doesn't always work. And yeah, we have our medical system it's a business. It's for profit. And we have this model that gets people to come back, pay co-payments. It's terrible. Some people approach therapy where they think they don't have to do a thing. They want everything to be fixed for them. Other therapists are crap. Absolutely should not be in their job.
And you also have some people who figure therapy will only work when you agree with how they feel they should be cured or better handle their situations and everything. They're trying to hire an echo chamber instead of trying to get better.
To really work on themselves.
Yeah.
Working on yourself is hard. You have to put some effort into it. You have to be willing to look at yourself and think, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I didn't handle this in the best way. Maybe I misinterpreted something. I didn't have the best plan in mind. Yeah, it takes some humility to truly look at yourself, course correct. And it takes a good therapist to guide you into making, hopefully, the best decisions for you and your family.
All right, let me get to these comments real quick so we can move on. Complex Mind Simple Man says, I dispute the accounting, which Complex must be a Republican because he misspelled dispute. The accounting. I counted 2 cuss words where those other fees come from. Don't DeSantos me. DeSantos is. Ooh, I disappeared for a second. Sorry, DeSantos is not an adjective. Please don't do that. Parker, you really hurt me to the feels. I think I just noticed that the mid-show break song is different than the intro song for the last 3 years.
Parker.
Hey, Parker, I'm with you, dog. It's all good, man.
Really? Wow.
I mean, I knew it, but I'm just saying I'm on Parker's side. That's all.
He says LOL, no, I'm funny. Here comes the Republican again. Hashtag funny math. Hashtag Trump accounting.
Is that your attorney?
It might as well be. Yeah, don't envy you all.
No, I'm talking about Marlon's funny math he got going on over
funny
here.
Math.
Inflating. He's over here inflating figures.
You cut 7 times the first hour. 7.
Nah, you No,
And I let
you
hell go,
increase.
so it really should be 8, but I let hell 1 go.
Hell ain't a curse word. And
Okay.
anyway, see, that's proof right there. You doing the whole Trump thing where the real value is 3, but so that you can get the results that you want, you saying there's 7. But then if you were to get flagged by the YouTube algorithm, you would turn around and say it was 2 because you need to decrease the numbers to make sure that you can
No.
get that result.
No, I was gonna use your $7 to
Hashtag
bribe.
Trump account.
I was gonna use your $7 to bribe the algorithm.
Don't Santos me.
Dude is an idiot. Yeah, don't
Wait,
envy you all having
Santos
to
or DeSantis? Who?
No,
Who?
Santos. Marlon
descend.
said DeSantos because he was thinking DeSantis. But
Yeah.
no, I said don't Santos me.
Oh, okay.
What did I say?
Thank you for that correction. I
Oh,
did not
DeSantis.
hear
No, you said Santos. Ooh, well, both of them idiots, but ooh, I don't want to mix them up at all. Yeah, don't envy you all for having to research for that topic tomorrow.
What
that.
topic?
We have it, and I don't even want to bring it up because if we even talk about it right here, right now, no, nothing, no
Okay.
subject,
Fine,
nothing.
fine. Parker, you can tell me in the comments since Marlon don't want to tell nobody nothing.
No, because I know this show by now. If we even mention what that subject is, we will never get to we would never get anywhere.
Okay. I'm so confused by this.
Well, there you go. Don't even worry about it.
No, I'm going back to the filler thing.
Oh, I did have a question about that.
Mm,
So, what is the difference between somebody who deems themselves a filler and somebody who deems themselves a oh crap, I had the word in my head. Somebody who always I'm sorry. I really wish I had the word
It's
in my
just a
head.
new term, Marlon.
Okay, I'll
It's
bring up a
a
new
it's
term.
it's a
Somebody who
current
I've not heard of filler.
it's a
somebody who
current age way.
always like to be the helper, always like to be liked,
Oh
always
no,
like
not
to
the giver. No, not the
no, not the
giver.
giver. No, oh geez, never mind. It
But I
is
get what
it's
you're
literally a
saying.
term for it, and I can't remember what the term for it, but
I don't know.
But they're not saying that people are taking advantage. She's not saying people are taking advantage of her kindness. She's literally saying that she's invisible to people.
okay.
So
That's the
when she's
difference.
saying that she's a filler person, it's like saying that she's an NPC if you're a gaming person, right? You're there, but it wouldn't matter if you weren't. You're just background noise to other people's lives. That's how she's expressing, how she's internalizing her role,
Mm,
right? And that's where she needs help because true or not, accurate or not, her lived reality is that she's not acknowledged or seen. Now, other people very well could see her, acknowledge her, and all kinds of things. And if you've ever dealt with someone who's deep in depression or been in depression, which I've been before, you can't receive it. Like you can't perceive the attention. You can't process
mm,
that someone's trying to really attach to you because you're still in a fog where it's not really happening. Like it's almost like you're trying to talk to me, but you're only talking to me because you think I'm sad. Right? It's like you're literally pushing things out to reinforce what you feel is happening to yourself.
mm.
And it's tough.
And I got
It's,
the word,
it's
and I got the word that I was thinking of. The difference between, and you already explained it there, so you don't have to do it again. But between a filler
okay. I'll be quiet.
and a people pleaser, and that's what I was messing up. But no, because you already answered it. Because somebody who's a people pleaser, they are acknowledging you, but in some, not all. So please don't jump on me when I say my next statement. In some situations, they are acknowledging you, but they are acknowledging you because they know they can get something out of you, because they know there's something in you that don't want to disappoint them, even if the situation is only in favor of one person. So
Yeah,
when
but
you
that's
say the
not what
filler
she's saying
part
her
is the
experience
people
is.
who don't even see them at all.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the only thing that I even find even worse on those, because I've seen it growing up, I think I even experienced it, is, and I don't know if it's worse, it's just maybe either worse, less than worse, or the same thing, is they don't even acknowledge the person until they're not around anymore. And what I mean by that is there are so many stories that I have read and heard of people that's so angry that let's just use high school. In high school, when they're not actually bullying the person, but they're not acknowledging them either. You're not you're not getting invited to the parties. We're not playing with you on recess. We're not doing anything like this, that, and the other. We know of you because we just see you walking around. Then the
Yeah,
person
I feel you.
unalives themselves later on because they just can't take it no more of being in loneliness. And the first thing they do at all the school functions is, I'm gonna miss them so much. We were so much that we talked every day, and he was such a beautiful person. It is a sickening, disgusting act.
I used to look at it that way. I look at it a little different now because everybody is literally living their own complex life.
Yeah.
Everybody. And that kid who is a follower or has not yet developed a firm core of who they are, or any host of, there's so many things that can manifest in that type of person that, like you're describing, for example.
Mm.
But is it any of
Just
the other kids' responsibility to draw that kid out,
no. It's not
to
their
befriend that kid?
responsibility. It's not their responsibility, but I'm going to pull a Thea's. I'm going to pull a Thea's. It is not your responsibility to pull that person out of whatever the reason is that he's in the background. That's cool, but own it all the way through. So when I say own it, I mean don't all of a sudden um, come up with a background story that's not true. That you're
But
gonna miss this
that's what I'm
person,
getting at.
that we was always good, close, personal friends, and we always hugged. No, the same way that
That's
you, I would be the person. Honestly, I would be the person who wouldn't say nothing because I would be truthful enough to go, yeah, I didn't know him, or I didn't know him well enough. I saw him working out in class. But when you go out of your way to make yourself like, I was always there for him, so I couldn't believe this. No, now you're putting the spotlight back on you again, and you're
but
using the death to do so.
that's literally what people do. And I agree with you. It makes me mad every time I see it too, because it's lazy, but it's also human. Like whenever something is going on, especially if it's now past tense, whether it be a day or 2 days or at the funeral or whatever, this is when you start trying to self-soothe and form the get in with the herd or get in with the pack. It's like instinctual. So people start to embellish the truth. The truth is you knew who this person was. Your story is, yeah, they used to hang out. We used to hang out, a couple days a week, as part of the crew. That took the truth and blew that bad boy up some, right? But it's a no harm, no foul in your retelling because you're really just trying to feed into this thing called community in the moment of mourning or healing. We see it after school shootings. We see it after people who self in themselves. We see it all of the time. And yes, I get so irritated with it because I'm like you said, Marlon, you did not engage. So just don't say anything. Right? You ain't gotta make nothing up. Just don't say nothing. But people want to add to the story, and it's what people do, and we're never going to be able to stop that.
That's true.
Yeah, I
I,
mean, the story
What I
where I
try to
got
tell my
mad.
kids, I'm sorry.
The story where I got mad when I yelled at the auditorium was because I know that they bullied my friend and then tried to turn around and cry boohoo at the celebration of life. And I couldn't take all the people that were incredibly cruel
Yep.
Yeah.
and turn around to
No,
that.
I agree with you.
I, I,
100%.
I literally
I'm
go.
saying that
Yeah.
what you're describing is what people will do. Like
Right.
when I was at my niece's funeral and after she took her own self from here, and I was so irritated and angry. I personally did not know my niece because she's like
Your
they
wife's
live in a whole nother area. We never had an opportunity, right?
Mhm.
And I'm seeing this beautiful girl no longer here, and the whole town shows up, and I'm like, this ain't the first child that has had this situation here recently. So
Mm.
I'm listening and I'm hearing the community outpouring because there's different levels to this. You got the community outpouring because it's a loss of a life. So people
Yeah.
Yeah.
they come together even if they don't know that person, even if they barely knew that person, even if they didn't even like that person. They still come together as a community to mourn together. And I get
Mhm.
that. But then it was
Mhm.
what made me mad was the messaging that was being used throughout because it was like more surface level nonsense. This person in front of us, this baby girl will never hear this. It's this she can't hear you, but
Right.
there are children all around us. They need to hear you. And what they need to hear is not the mess that you're saying. They don't need you saying you're in a better place now and all these other things. They need to hear that we care about you now.
Yep.
We don't want it to get to here, right? And and that message is a hard thing to do at a homegoing. So the message is always like we do with anything else. This ain't the right time.
Which
But the
why we
problem is the right time never presents itself.
which we always come up with the whole statement that I know it's not new now because it's kind of old, but we've always been saying for the longest time, give me my flowers now. Because you
Mhm.
telling me everything and oh, I'm gonna miss you and oh, I love you and oh, I hate I won't be able to speak to you again and blah blah blah. When in reality, you know in the back of your mind the last time you even talked to that person was like 2 or 3 years ago. And it was an instant message. And it was probably a short message like how you doing.
I feel you. It's like and but here's my and no, we don't want to continue to assault the horse that is no longer with us. But there's levels, like if you were a friend but you hadn't been in contact, it doesn't mean you weren't a friend. It
Right.
just means you weren't in contact.
Mhm.
If you are a member of the community who did not know the person personally, but you saw them, they're like someone you just saw. Like it was like Mr. Johnson's always there, little
Mhm.
Elizabeth is always there, is this, and you'll miss seeing them. It's a part of your experience of this city, this town, this community, or what have you. That's still real. Um, where you will run into problems with me is when, like I said, you're delivering a message that is not going to help keep us from being right where we are, right? Like, don't preach a funeral over someone who is passed from complications with diabetes and then take us to the lunch hall and feed us fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and all the other fattening things, right?
Mhm.
It's like, have a little context here. Don't sit here and it's just that consistency piece. But if you were one of the people who bullied this person, you might really be remorseful now because you never had the intention of this. To you, it was just another moment, another good time. Yes, it was at someone else's expense, but you weren't thinking that way. You were just thinking about you were just being a kid or being a unpleasant
A
person.
part of a part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you never even considered it could come here.
You don't think what happens next.
That person just need to be quiet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever you dealing with, your grief is real, your
Yeah.
shame is real, your pain is real, and all those things, and you need to unpack that. You need someone to listen to you. You need someone to help you through that. Not here.
Not here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and skip the last story because we already 30 minutes into the second hour. And the thing is, before you said no, I'm sorry. I know, but it ain't got nothing to do with you. Because there's nothing that we haven't said on this show thus far. There's nothing that we have not said on this story that I know in my heart of hearts is helping somebody. I just know it is. The people who haven't subscribed, who hasn't commented, who hasn't pushed that like button, but I guarantee they come on and watch the show. Just being real, because they know that we're going to put something out that's going to help you or help you help somebody else. So that's why I don't stop Thea from talking. That's why I don't stop Anna from talking. And I just run the boards. So I help too. I help a little bit. I'm just kidding. So that's why. But the last part of that story was that the lady did come to the realization after everything had cleared out, everything was put in perspective, that she broke down in her car and come to the realization that, oh my God, I have cancer, I could die. And it's more or less that when you have a situation where there's so much clouds in front of you, it's so thick that all you want to do is get through the clouds. You still have that same issue of cancer, but you have so many things in front of you that you have to take care of, that you have to deal with. And eventually, at the end, those clouds dissipate. And you're now left with yourself with the knowledge that, and we're in the second hour, so I won't get bad. Holy shit, I could die. And now the reality, and I'm not saying the other stuff wasn't reality either, but your reality has now hit you. It's I don't know what to call it. I'm in a better frame of mind than last week, so I'm not even going to try to make up words or analogies to just blow through. I don't know what to call that, but it's the reality just finally hit you that all the things, your husband was a cloud, it's now out of the way. Your parents is a cloud, it's not out of the way. Your friends that you did or did not have is out of the way. And now it's just you. And now that thing that you have been taking care of by yourself this whole time, and then you come to the realization that, shit, I could die.
Well, facing your mortality is a tough thing, man.
Yes.
And I, not to overshare or nothing like that, but it's a constant worry of mine. It's in this particular time, and like it stresses me out to no end. Mainly not because of me, because no, I'm not done with what I feel like I want to do here, but I got my babies. You know what I'm saying? And like is getting them ready and preparing them without scaring them. And that's tough. It's really tough, because I've seen too many. I mean, my business is insurance, before my current career, and I've seen people leave suddenly, and it happened.
Yeah.
You know,
You always have that fear. I'll overshare because I mean I really can now. I figured that my immortality, I wanted to stay on here because I had so many young children. I'm finally in. We're communicating. We're a family now. So hell no, I don't want to leave them. I got stuff I need to do. I got stuff I need to teach. I have things that I need to share with them. I have to make sure that they don't kill themselves because some of the time they do some glittering, idiotic things. And I got to make sure that I'm here to say, hey, stop doing that before you kill your damn self. Please.
Child? It's
And
not
I
a
thought,
child.
man, I can't wait till they out of my house and I ain't got to deal with this no more. And they can deal with it. And you come to the realization that, nope, not true at all. Because guess what happens when you got the kids and they're out of the house and they're out on their own and they're making life for themselves. You didn't think about the grandkids that's coming later. And the shit starts over from the beginning.
that's if you're lucky. You also
No,
got to look at when
no,
they
you
grow
didn't.
up and they leave the house. Like what I wrestle with, even though I shouldn't be, but I got kids at all three levels, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Got an adult, got a high schooler, and I got an elementary. So it's like, who am I when the last one finishes? Like,
The same.
this is my identity. I know it'll change. I know it'll morph. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I mean, I know it will, but the unknown is the thing that you wrestle with.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I get it. It's just it's this interesting thing. It's a part. We're not the first one to go through it. We ain't the last ones who gonna go through it. There are more people dead than there are alive. Um, so
Yeah.
it's just
I can tell you now, Theas, I'm going to tell you now from experience.
Uh,
It gets lighter, but it don't go away. I have adult kids who haven't stepped 1 foot back in this house for whatever reason. Let me stay a couple of days or let me stay a couple of weeks, blah, blah, blah. But nope. They still lean on me and Foxy for whatever the reason is. And
oh, I don't think they're gonna just disappear. I'm just saying like my role
your role
changes.
will be, I'm telling you, your
Yeah.
role will be lighter from what you're doing now, but it's still the same role. That's why I'm telling you, it's not going to be as much of what you're doing right now. Like you have a certain way of doing things because you are the father. As they get older, even when they get married, your role will be lesser of what you're doing, but it's the same role. And then when you add grandchildren in there, just pretty much say you're starting from the beginning again.
No,
Because
I'm
I'm not
100% with
saying
you.
that I'm not saying that every parent is bad. It's still a lesser role. Like you're you're not getting your grandkids. I mean, unless they stand with you. No, you're not getting your grandkids up and making sure they have money for lunch, making sure that they put the right shoes on the right feet. No, you're not putting their clothes out. No, you're not making sure. No,
you
unless
get
they
to
stand with
hand that kid back to its
you.
parents.
You got that,
So,
boy.
and I appreciate all that. So one thing I would say, because this isn't
But
just for me and you and you. This is for the people who are out there listening, because nobody wants to just hear about our stories. It's about how does it relate to everyone else. And the reason
mhm,
why I say things the way I'm saying is because that is something that a lot of people I know wrestle with. It's the unknown.
mhm.
It's
Yeah.
a level of it, right? So you
Empty,
know
empty
that
nesters.
when the children are grown, like your experience, Marlon, may not be my experience and may not be Anna's experience, right? So for some people, the kids, what if the kids decide they don't want to have children. So now there are no
Mhm.
grandchildren to speak of.
Right.
So you have that aspect. Or what if, well, actually, more to my viewpoint, whatever happens within that, I will always be who and what I am. But as you stated, you said it'll just be a lighter load. For a person like me, a lighter load is not traditionally healthy because in the silence, I find pain. Like I don't like silence. I don't like things being still.
Right.
I get really uncomfortable in those situations because in my past I've dealt with a severe depression. So
Uh,
when things slow down, because see, my brain doesn't stop. You guys see how my mouth doesn't stop? My brain is running faster than my mouth. So when things start to get
Good God,
quiet,
that's scary.
I'm telling you, when things get quiet around me, I start thinking more because there's nothing to distract me.
mm,
So I
Mm.
have to fill that with something. So that's part of it as well. Because growing up military, I've had to find this out about myself. Growing up military, so for those of you out there who have moved around a lot, things like this, you may relate to pieces of this. I moved every 3 to 4 years. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I figured out what was happening here. I moved every 3 to 4 years. That means roughly every 3 to 4 years, there's a major change in my life. And that was the way it was for 15 years of my life. Okay.
wow. Mhm.
So that creates a pattern, that creates a coping mechanism, that creates an expectation. So what I found when I looked back at it and I had a moment to think about it when I was in my adulthood, every 2 to 4 years, somewhere in that window, I get extremely restless and I start reassessing everything except my children. I
Mm,
start reassessing my relationship. I start reassessing my job. I reassess where I live. I reassess what I drive. I reassess everything. And
wow.
something will change. Out of all those things, I'm going to change something. And it's not always going to be a responsible decision
Mm,
because I will force a significant change into my life every 2 to 4 years. So I've gotten a lot better at managing that. But my children of what's are a big part of what helped me learn to manage that.
mm,
Because for me now, their changes satisfy my changes. Well, once they're not
mhm.
there, I come back to me and this, right? Do you see where this is going? So
Yes,
it's
I
it's
do.
one of those things where each of us has little things or big things within us. And I encourage everyone to slow down and identify some of the things about you. Because if you find yourself in a rhythm or a rotation, you're probably dealing with something like me. It just be something that's more tailored to you. So, but
Mhm.
my life became a lot better once I realized that's what I was doing.
That's incredible. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you, Theus. Am I the a-hole? Uh, quick note, Theus, check your watch and everything and see where we're at because I know you said you may have to leave, and there's something that I wanted to show you um, if given enough time.
Well, I won't have any control over it. Once I receive the message, then that's when I'll be out.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get on into it. It's funny to me because me and Foxy, one of the most deepest discussions we ever had on this subject. My wife won't talk to me.
My wife, 31 female, and I, 46 male, have been together for 6 years, married for 2. She used to talk to me all the time. She used to share her day with me, just randomly tell me her thoughts, stuff like that. However, she also used to want to talk about problems we were having a lot. It felt like we were always talking about what I did wrong. She thought I spent too much time talking to exes. We were friends. I don't prioritize her over work. It's my career. Am I supposed to quit? And mostly that I didn't care enough about her. It was so many different ways that she came to that conclusion, but it was like we were always just sitting down for a serious talk. So I told her about a year ago that I didn't want to talk anymore. It's a good idea. So I told her about a year ago that I didn't want to talk anymore. I was just tired of hearing everything I was doing wrong. I provide everything we need. Can I just have a break? I told her that if she had a problem with the way I did things, then she could get out of my house and we'd get a divorce. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. She told me that she was trying to communicate because she didn't feel appreciated and that I had one foot out the door. But I think that's ridiculous. I know it's harsh, but I was at my wit's end. So now a year later, she barely talks to me at all. When I ask her about her day, she says, fine. When I talk to her about work or politics or my day, she says, oh, wow, cool, and walks away. Her attitude isn't bad. She's very sweet, but it's just like she doesn't care anymore. I didn't want to talk about her problems anymore, but I didn't mean stop talking, period. We really don't talk about anything that doesn't have to do with our life or household. In the evenings, she just turns on the TV and we watch something until bed. Now, I don't know what to do because I just found out today that she won a pretty big award at her job and she didn't tell me. Last Friday, she said she had to work late and it was cool. I didn't ask. Today, I found out that she was really at a dinner where she was celebrated for this award. She invited some of her friends and her mom and her brothers. I ran into her brother at the store today and he mentioned the dinner and said that he was sorry I couldn't make it. I asked what he meant and he said at the dinner how I wasn't able to go because I was sick. I asked him to explain the whole thing to me, so now he knows too. What am I supposed to do? Is she punishing me or something? Do I tell her that I know? Why wouldn't she tell me? I didn't think she'd take it this far, and now I'm thinking she's being petty. Does anyone have experience here? I love my wife and I'd do anything for her, but I'm so confused. Edit, wow, a lot of comments. A couple people are asking about the exes. I have close contact with 3 of my exes. Oh wait, he says have. Wife brought up an issue with this. I would expect to see a had, but it's have. Close contact with 3 of my exes. My previous wife calls me when she needs to talk. Her and her husband don't get along. I have 2 ex-girlfriends who I'm still friends with, and I was friends with them when I met my wife now. My wife doesn't like them because she says they cross boundaries, but honest to God, they are just friendly and we ended in good terms. It's nothing serious and I just don't want to give my friends up. Edit 2, you're right. Tried to talk to her last night. It didn't go well. I'll update later when I can get my thoughts together.
I got exactly what I asked for. No, remind me, how did he ask? What was the specific? Don't talk
Yeah, I
to me?
missed the beginning part.
Don't talk to me unless you have. Don't talk to me if you always have something negative to say. It may not be the exact wording of what he said, but that was pretty much what he was saying. If you have something negative to say, don't talk to me about it.
I heard, yeah, don't talk to me. Those words.
That's probably what she heard.
That's probably what she heard.
I would be incredibly hurt. My partner didn't feel at all like my feelings counted. I don't know. This seems like this guy got it what he asked for, and then went, oh shit, I didn't really want this. Sorry, did Foxy say something?
It backfired on him, and it did. Because here's the exact same thing. Here's the exact thing that I want this OP to think about. You're not. So this is for everybody else that's in the background because you're not going to think about what I'm finna say. Your exact words were, do not speak to me if the only thing that you could think of is something negative to say. I want you to go a little deeper in your thought processes, which is why I know you're not going to listen to what I'm saying. If you say that to somebody, going, do not say anything to me if the only thing that comes out of your mouth is negative things, and they say nothing, then the only thing they have is negative things to say. What you thought was she was just going to eliminate all the negative things and only speak to you on positive things. Why? Because who did that benefit? In a relationship, I'm speaking, which again, like I said, you're not going to listen to me again because you're not really in a relationship. You're not trying to be in a relationship. You're trying to satisfy your version of how this relationship is. And the way you want to satisfy your part of the relationship is, I don't want to hear any wrongdoing on my behalf. I just only want to hear the positive things that's going on, and that's that. Why would I even say something like, Marlon, why would you even say something like that? Because there is no way in the living hell Foxy would allow me, and yes, I said allow, me to have 3 exes as close personal friends that I can hold contact with at any time. And vice versa. There is no way in hell this would happen. Whatever. And vice versa. But there's no chance in hell this would happen. But you want to understand that, hey, I want my cake and eat it too, which is about the oldest cliche that I could think of to say, but pretty much that's all you want. You want the relationship dictated on how you feel the relationship should be. The hell with what her wants and needs are. Because she's trying to see. If any person comes to you and try to talk to you about what the situation is going on in their relationship, they're doing it because they want to work things out. And I'm saying this on a normal person's basis, so please do not come to me talking about the toxic people and everything else. Stop that. We're not doing that. I'm talking about people who want a normal, functioning relationship. If they have an issue with you, they have an issue with this relationship, they're going to come to you because they want to deal with this issue so they can function as a happy relationship. That's all they're doing. You should do the same thing. You should not live in something that you know you really can't deal with on a long period of time. You go and say, hey, we have an issue. We need to deal with this issue. I may be wrong on the issue, but I don't know because I don't know what your state of mind is. So can you please just tell me what's going on so we can deal with this issue so we can go on? You cut that part out about it's a negative issue, so don't even tell me about it. Okay, she did then. And when she cut that issue out, she cut you out too. Because nothing was solved. So what's the point? You got what you wanted, but you didn't get exactly what you wanted.
Did she go too far?
By the way, Theas, you missed the first part of this thing. I'm in a lot better mood than I was last week, so your facial expressions are not going to bother me anymore. I'm willing to go battle with you this week, so I'm ready. Let's go. Because you last week, I got a video of you last week.
Cause that's what I'm trying to process what somebody's saying and not say nothing.
Go ahead. But go ahead. I'm done. I'm really serious. I'm done.
Anna was about to say something.
Okay.
Well, did the wife take it too far? Once again, I'm trying to go back to the initial. I mean, okay. I get what Marlon is saying. I get the you want to work on your relationship. I don't know why you would see that as just always negative things. Um,
Anna, let me interrupt you one quick second because I want to add this in real quick, and I promise I'll let you finish. Also remember that he added in, if this continue, I will divorce you and leave you. And I think that added that layer in there that was just like, okay. Because I didn't want you, I just didn't want you to go that far. So that just added a different layer to it. But go ahead. I'm done.
Well, I'm sitting here trying to figure out the what happened in this, because he obviously thought he was saying one thing, and did she take that as don't talk to me? I like talking in a relationship. I talk regularly. I make house meetings. It's a part of, I was taught, a healthy relationship. But sorry, Theus, you go on, my brother.
I'm coming from a little bit different. So,
There's a shot.
to me, whatever, you're right. So I missed if there was actually a direct linkage between him keeping in contact with his exes and her being negative. I don't recall if there was a direct linkage. I think that was just part of the backstory, right?
I want to make this perfectly clear. That's a separate issue, not a link.
Okay. All right. So what I hear is that the relationship was already about over. And so when they would communicate, she would be negative and fussy and blah, 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 blah. But that was because she was thoroughly discontent in the relationship. So, like, I'll back up to put it this way. As you've heard me say many times before, everybody's living their own life.
Right.
So he's on his trajectory, living his life, and she's on hers. He, from what it appears, was not valuing the relationship or marriage the same way that she felt she needed it valued. Because, like, for example, I don't believe currents and exes should mix. So if you have an ex, they're an ex. And
for a reason.
You don't ever want to create questions where questions don't already exist. Why bring in confusion, right? So that was a sore thing for her. Plus, they probably just had really shitty communication skills. And I'm after the hour, so I can say that. They had just really bad communication skills. So I think they were already.
Yet, so no, you can't.
Cool. Put it on my tab. So I think if we pick up the story from them already being effectively
that
over,
makes sense.
Then him saying to her, "You keep coming at me with a negative. Every time you say something to me, it's always a new complaint. Yo, it's always my fault. It's always something I did. You know what? If you can't say something nice to me, don't say nothing to me at all. In fact, you keep coming at me like this, and the next thing is you can leave, right? If that's where the story starts, that's where we pick up the story at, then everything else starts to make a little bit more sense to me. Because now her reaction is she was already about done with this relationship. But that right there allowed her to nip that. She was done at that point. It broke inside of her at that point. That doesn't mean that she was the victim here. It doesn't mean that he was a victim. One of them probably was, or they both just grew apart and that's where you were. But she went cold on him and went to develop a whole new life, but still with him.
Right.
And that, and then when that happened, well, I don't know, whatever bell went off in his head that he didn't. Like, he might have thought he was ready to let this thing go, but he wasn't ready to let this thing go. So now his energy shifts from being ambivalent and mad to being confused and eager. Whereas she went from being mad and concerned to being numb and disinterested.
Hmm.
So they were already like missing each other. Now they're just missing each other the other direction. And so she's doing this thing. My problem with how the story was going is one of them needed to stop being a coward. I don't care which one of them it was. One of them needed to stop being a coward. And the way the story was going, I'm gonna put it on her because she's the one who went and started fashioning an entire new life while still with him. So if you're moving on without him and you're creating, hey, my professional successes are mine, my personal experiences are mine, my friends are mine, my family is mine, I'm freezing you out of all those things, just divorce the man. Cut it
Yeah,
off. Let's
I'm
go.
not sure why you would want to stay.
I totally agree with that one.
Yeah, in the physical
And then on his
presence.
side, when he said his ultimatum or whatever the messed up thing that was, that could have just been said in the heat of an argument, because I don't know about y'all, I've been in arguments that got pretty close to those sometimes. So there's still, at that point, he could have said he's done, but he didn't, right? So both of them owe each other more than what they're given. If the relationship is something you want to preserve, then there's some actions you might need to take. And you may not know how to do it in the moment, because some things are beyond your skill set, but you should still have maintained whatever it was to say, look, you want this? Because if you do, we need to figure out what we're doing here. Like, that argument needs to happen. It doesn't sound like it did. It sounded more like the argument was happening and then each just ran to their corners and then shit just went blank.
Hold that thought, Theus. I'm finna pull an audible. I'm gonna pull something that I've never pulled in this show before. I'm actually going to show a video from the Foxy video of the week, because it literally, and thank you, Theus, because you actually changed the title that I was going to use. Because I was going to say, this is what Theus has been preaching for the longest time about his thought process when it comes to relationships. But I really feel like this video actually address what Theus and me and Anna and probably a lot of us have been saying. Like, you want to fix the issue wasn't fixed, so you pulled a split, and I'm not putting words in Theus' mouth, but I want to finish it by saying, but what, because I preach on this, what is your end game? And his end game is totally different from her end game. So I want to play this video really quick because I want Theus' thought on this in case he has to leave. So, but it's
I think we're going to be good.
Huh?
I think we're going to be good. I got at least another hour.
Oh, God, we'll be on way before that. Shoot. But let me go ahead and play this video real quick.
Hey, babe. I think we should break up.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, we still got like 3 months left on the lease, but if you want to break up, we'll make it work.
Wait, so that's it?
What? What's it?
You're not gonna fight for this?
Fight for what?
Our relationship.
What relationship? We just broke up.
Yo, stop playing with me.
I'm not playing with you. You're not happy where you are, so you want to break up with me. I mean, no hard feelings. I mean, there's some hurt feelings, but no hard feelings. I understand.
No, you were supposed to fight for this relationship. You were supposed to try to find a way to work on our issues and make it work.
Are we in high school?
No.
Why not lead with that? Why not tell me, hey, babe, there's some issues going on in our relationship that I want to resolve, and then we talk. Why did you have to resort to that high school ass tactic where I want to break up and then expect me to hold you where you don't want to be? You're an adult. I'm assuming you say what you mean and mean what you say. So if you're telling me that you want to leave me, I have to be okay with that. Like, what's wrong with you?
I just thought you would fight for this.
Okay, all right. Let's start over. Hey, babe, there's some issues going on in this relationship. Would you like to fix them?
Yes, I would like to fix our
All right,
issues.
let's talk. That's all you had to do.
I've had this exact conversation many times. Well, a couple of times. The last time was with my ex-wife. But we didn't have that second half of the conversation. I've been this way since I was about 14, man. Like, for real. I truly believe no equivocation. For me to ever say to my wife, or back then my girlfriend, that I want to break up. No, not that I want to break, that we're breaking up, because I don't do I wanna. We're breaking up. I have been wrestling with that idea for some time. I have gone through whatever I had to go through to get to the point that I said to you that we're done. So I have to trust that if I take it that seriously, as my partner, you do too. So if you come to me and you say that for whatever reason, your life no longer wants me in it, I have to accept that. Like, it's over. Like, I'm not gonna, such is my concern for you. And I'm serious. Such is my concern for you that you had to wrestle with something to get to the point that you said this to me. I'm not going to put you through the nonsense and agony of having to explain all this and unwind all of this just to break up with me. We're done. I accept your decision. Now, I'm probably going to cry about it later, but you ain't going to see that because you're no longer entitled to that part of me. We're done. And what did I hear a couple times? I thought you would fight for us. Don't fight for somebody who quit. You already quit. I want you to be happy. Legit, I want you to be happy because that's my whole thing. I'm trying to create an environment that you can be happy in. Obviously, I failed. Go be happy. Really, please, go be happy. You'll never hear me say I'm the best thing that's ever going to happen to you. That's some bullshit. Hopefully, whatever comes next is better than me. But we just ain't right for each other because you don't want to be here. But then you turn around and it's like, well, I thought you would fight for me. And it really hurt that you just let me go. Yes. Yes, I let you go. I let you go. I set you, and not even that I set you free. I allowed you to go free. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go, and I let you go. How is this hard? Don't threaten me.
It's one of those things where this is a pet peeve of mine. Don't play games. If there's something that you want, just tell me what it is that you want. But don't weave these web of whatever. Can't think of the word right now, but whatever. Because the point is that you didn't get to the point of, I have an issue with you on this. This is what I need you to fix. Where can we go with this so we can move on with our lives? And I'll be cool with that. You may be wrong with what your thought process is. I may be absolutely wrong, and I have been on a lot of thought processes. But instead of you doing that and you decide, no, I'm going to play these mind games where one of my pet peeves, and it hasn't happened in 30 years. Trust me. So anybody thinks Foxy been doing this, Foxy has not done this at all. But it still was devastating to me. When you have if you want your man / your woman to do this, then this is what you need to do, and they will automatically do it. And if they
Somebody
don't
tried that shit with
automatically
me too.
do it,
Ah,
then they don't really love you. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Grow up. You want them to
I
do
don't do
something,
trauma
do it.
love.
This is so foreign to me. The end of my relationships, we came to, with the exception of the marriage where rape ended the relationship, my partners and I often come to a place where, like, but once he was moving, we were young, and he was going to school in another place after community college. And so we had an amiable breakup. And like with my just latest relationship, my partner was in the Navy and would get sent all over the world. I wouldn't be able to be notified. And we actually came to this place where she was like, babe, I'm concerned. I'm not able to put enough time into this relationship, and I don't think you're getting what you need to really soar. And it was like, okay, it hurt a little, but it was a really sweet thing to say. It came from concern. It wow, like the dramatic end, they're just so foreign to me. Is that I don't know. I do I look at it too rationally? I don't know. It's just been my experience.
I don't think it's irrational. It's the I ain't gonna say upbringing. It's what I've been seeing. You such as if somebody, true or not, I'm sorry, I'm going by my childhood, okay? But one of the things was if your mate, your significant other, all of a sudden has an issue with you and fights you on everything, and everything is an issue, everything is a problem, no matter what the
Yeah,
issue is, but they never break up with you, is because they want you to break up with them. Like, they want to leave you, but they ain't got
the guts.
the guts.
Fortitude.
Yeah, the guts, the
Fortitude. Okay.
fortitude, the balls, the breast, whatever you want to say it, to just pull the trigger and go, I'm breaking up with you. No, they need you to break up with them so they can still go, hey, I didn't break up with you, you broke up with me. But now that you don't broke up with me, I have no reason to ever get back with you. But just keep in mind, I didn't break up with you, you broke up with me. To make that perfectly clear.
Okay.
Um, there growing up, there was always a game. You knew who was real. Foxy is real. Foxy got an issue with you, you damn well know she gonna come with you straight up with the damn issue.
Yeah.
She gonna flat out tell you, here's the issue. We need to take care of it. Now, I love that she says that. That's what makes her real. She doesn't say, here's the issue, you need to solve it.
Right.
She
There's a
says,
big difference.
here's the issue that I see. Even if she says, here's the issue that I see, and this is what you're doing, and this is how it's making me feel. So we need to solve this issue because I don't feel like we're going to get anything out of it unless, even if it's my issue, she will say, how are we going to solve this? Now, we is still the same as equivalent, depending on what the issue is. We is the equivalent of, how the hell are you going to damn do something so we can take care of this? But it comes out better saying we, because there's a 20, 30, 40% chance that what I'm doing that's irking her is something that she's doing that's irking me. So that's why there's a we in there. Like, I can't fix what I'm doing if there's something that you're doing that's making me feel the way I do, and vice versa. Again, vice versa. I'm doing this way because you're doing this way. So it's always going to be a we thing. Honestly, in my opinion, it's very rare, and I know I'm saying this from people who listen to the Reddit stories and all you hear is one person being the a-hole. It is literally very rare that one person is just flat out an a-hole. And I'm going to go back and find a video of a person who put it so eloquently about Reddit stories. Because the one, and I'm going to say this real quickly because he was saying, I'm not beating down Reddit stories, but let's be honest. The stories out here in real life would not happen. And the decisions and the placements and what people would do and everything, it's not realistic. Yeah, you would say this because you're used to saying it on Reddit. And I've discovered that listening to Reddit so much about he wouldn't put the toilet seat down, and I've told him several times, I would leave him and divorce him. I will be done. My last boyfriend did that, and now I had 8 kids, and all of them put the toilet seat. Like, some of the stuff is just like, yeah. So my point is, it's very rarely that one person is the issue. It's very toxic when the two people that's involved in that relationship don't sit their ass down and listen to each other to try to figure out how to resolve it. The breakup is when both of them come to the conclusion that what you're doing and what I'm doing is not compatible. And we're not willing to work this out. Maybe we should separate. That's fine. It happens. Not everybody, and I'm sorry to bust your bubble. I'm finna pull up Thea's and bust everybody's bubble on here. So you it's in the video. Everybody is not made for everybody.
Not the bubble.
You really need to come to that realization. In relationship, in marriage, or whatever, everybody is not made for everybody. You get a divorce, and woe is me, maybe you shouldn't have gotten married because the situation may have changed.
That don't mean they shouldn't have got married, though.
No, I don't say that they never should have got married. They got married at a different point, and now they're at another different point. So it happens. I'm sorry, but it does happen. You're putting marriage as a cap.
I often think, like, if I could go back and talk to my younger self, what would be the thing I would say? And I settled on, I would say, enjoy your engagement longer. Like, I went from engaged to planning to wedding, done. From May to end of August. And That was an unusual relationship for me. It was a lot more um sparks and ups and downs, but not necessarily with each other.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Tracy said, "Hey, where's the Mafia videos?" Susan said, "Shush, Tracy, we're doing the heavy stuff on Saturday."
Thank you, Susan.
Tracy, just it wasn't all me. It wasn't all me this time,
It
Tracy.
wasn't. I'm not putting this on Thea's today. I didn't even know it was going to get this heavy, but some of the stuff we got to say needs to be said, folks. It needs to be said.
Yeah, just
Saturday Night Bob was not created so we could do the lightheartedness and everything else. Saturday Night Bob was to get from the political and social things that's going on in America and around the world. This is a byproduct of Saturday Night Vibes. I didn't say that we was all gonna be shits and giggles over here on Saturdays. We
have been serious.
gonna do some heavy stuff on here.
Wait. Because I know one was supposed to be serious, and I thought that was Sunday.
Sunday is serious. It's a lot, and Sunday probably be a lot more serious.
Right. This one is billed as the more lighthearted night. It doesn't mean that we won't get into a conversation where we are
Pulling no punch.
Yeah, it's usually my fault. It's usually my fault, so it's cool.
Oh, good Lord.
No, I'd say like we share pretty even between all of us.
I'm gonna let you go with this, Tracy, so we can move on. I guess desperate times call for what? I don't even know where that guy is anymore.
He ran for another office, I thought.
Did he?
Wait a minute. She didn't say desperate.
Desperate times call for what? Desperate measures.
Wait.
I know. I have no idea what that word was that she was saying.
Where?
District times call for what? District measures.
Hey, look, don't be judging folks on typos and misspellings on YouTube because once you hit the button, it's gone.
Pretty much. Trust me.
Stuck with it.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Look, this is what I got from Steve Harvey, and the only thing I got from Steve Harvey when people try to make fun of people who's writing and spelling and everything else. You know what they meant to say. I don't. Because I know what
there's levels.
No, well, it depends on what the subject is. It depends on what the
if you are typing,
I'm not gonna do that. You know what they meant.
If you got a typo here and there, that's one thing. If you skipping punctuation, depends on how bad you're doing it. That's another thing.
No.
But if you type like you are learning phonics, you need to talk. Don't put that in writing. You need to make a video or an audio track so we can hear you. Do not type that shit. Don't do that. I'm gonna judge the hell out of you. How you over here talking about you calling me on the phone and you using phone? Stop it. No.
I can do
say that shit out loud, please.
I can do misspellings. I really can. I can do misspellings. It really would not bother me. But I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to even say this. It's gonna sound harsh, but I don't even care no more. You fuckers that don't know how to use punctuation kills me. And I ain't even trying to sit there and go to semicolons and all this other stuff. I'm asking y'all for a damn period. Commas. Question mark. I don't know what the hell you was trying to say because you got some run-in ass damn sentence that I'm trying to figure out. So was this the same sentence or you know what? It's 2023. I don't give a damn no more. And y'all can miss me with the, I did it on my phone. Fuckers, they have periods on the phone too. I know they do. I've used it. Stop it. Stop it. I know
they have spell checks now
and question marks on there. Stop doing that. If you
Autocorrect helps me send out funny messages.
like, jeez. But anyway, real or nah? Um, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the title so I can look at everybody's background picture and laugh at them. Santa isn't real.
My sister Ray, female 42, was trying to have a kid for a long time but struggled with infertility. After years of trying and money spent on fertility clinics, she finally had a miracle baby, Sue, now female 12. Since Ray and her husband view Sue's existence as a miracle, they treat her as one. From the time she could vocalize her once, she got everything she wanted. As a result, Sue is kind of a nightmare. Whenever our family gets together, we have to do whatever she wants. We have to eat whatever she wants to eat, watch whatever movies she wants to watch, and we can't do anything outside, even though the rest of the family loves the outdoors, because Sue hates nature and will literally scream if she gets so much as a speck of dirt on her shoe. We had to stop doing Christmas together because she would throw tantrums if my kid got something she wanted. This kid's muffin, but worse than muffin. I keep telling Ray that she is only setting Sue up for failure by spoiling her. Sue has no friends at her school because she doesn't understand that other kids aren't going to give her whatever she wants because they don't see her as a miracle the way her parents do. She also has a bunch of mannerisms that other kids that age grew out of years ago. She still picks her nose in public, still whines and whimpers when things don't go her way, still shops at Justice, and still believes in Santa and the Easter Bunny. Ray won't listen to me and says that I should let kids be kids, ignoring the fact that Sue will be a teenager soon. Well, she's 12, right? Yeah. 12. Last weekend, we were all gathered at my parents' house and Sue was writing a letter to Santa like she did every year. Of course, it was pages and pages long with a list of the most outrageous things a 12-year-old could think of. I wasn't planning on saying anything, I never do, but one day while Ray was away, Sue and my son, Finn, male 9, came running to me. Sue clearly had been crying and Finn looked rather smug. They both asked me if Santa was real. Normally, Sue would never ask me to resolve issues, but her parents weren't there, and I wasn't going to coddle her the way her parents did. I said Santa wasn't real. The minute Ray got home, Sue ran to her crying and screaming that I told her Santa wasn't real. Ray tried to calm her down and told her of course Santa was real and I was lying. When Ray put Sue down for a nap, yes, you read that right, Ray put her 12-year-old daughter Sue down for a nap, she scolded me. She said that I had no business trying to parent her child. I then told her that she wasn't parenting her child, so someone had to. Maybe the first step to self-awareness for her is learning Santa isn't real. I was hoping Ray would wake up and see the reality of the situation, but now she's just ignoring my texts and calls. When I told my husband about everything, he wasn't as supportive as I thought he would be. He agrees that Sue is unbearable, but it's not my place to fix that, and what I did probably did more harm than good. Should I have just said Santa was real and not gotten involved in this situation?
Man, dumbass story. I don't care if that baby is 20. Why do people feel it is their business to insist on whether or not Santa's real? I just, that part has always eluded me. You know, but okay, I got a couple problems with this supposed adult. That's why you ain't got no friends. What? You know what? You part of the problem. And then the child, yes, the child needs some balance or whatever, but you aren't coming from a good place, so you should not be the one to help find that balance. So yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Go ahead, Anna.
You're looking at somebody who believes in fae-like creatures you're talking with someone who has a really healthy imagination, loves to use it. Look at all of our mythology. Look at it, there are unbelievable things. Why do you have to, as someone said, why do you have to yuck someone's yum? What what is wrong with you? I don't get that at all. Um, she's still a child. Let her. And being upset. I don't know. Maybe the mother felt, let me just try to go and calm you down, and she fell asleep. I don't know.
Yeah, that part was like, come on, man. You're spinning the story.
You're
4K.
stretching for things that you're thinking are inappropriate. Now, I mean, do I expect to see one of these fairy type creatures come out? No. There is the whole balance, and she had plenty of time. Plenty of time. I
I
mean,
ain't gonna lie. I'll be happy when my child no longer believes, but until then, I just gotta hold on. Just gotta hold on.
Okay, y'all both gonna love me and hate me on this because I have no idea where the hell y'all going with this.
Saint Nicholas was a real person.
Yeah,
If
That don't have
nothing
nothing
else,
to do with
you
this.
can.
we talk about Santa Claus. We talking about Santa
That ain't got
Claus.
nothing to do with this.
We not going history and all that. I'm finna piss off everybody. First of all, well, I am until I get to my last part. First of all, you're 12 years old. What the hell? You're writing letters to Santa. Now, either you're gonna learn this and your parents tell you that Santa ain't real, or you're gonna find out that shit the hard damn way. Cause what Parker say?
Well, let
But
them
then
find out the
again,
hard
12
way
years old is
then.
the 7th grade. They finna fuck with you so damn hard in the middle school that your ass still believe in Santa. They don't ever care about your damn feelings. Trust me. Been there, done that. They don't care. Number 2, yeah, dude, I'm gonna go with this. You kind of spit the story. He didn't. He put her to sleep. No, she was so distraught that she just fell asleep. Fucking adults do that, dude. Shut up. Number 3, and most importantly, because even though I'm sitting there going, dude, y'all need to go raise this child like, hey, Santa ain't real. It's been me all along. Get the fuck over it. It's me. But at the same time, I'm gonna jump on OP by saying this. Well, somebody need to parent. Who the fuck said it's supposed to be you?
It's not your
That
child.
you need to say. Go talk to your parents about that. You took it upon yourself to all of a sudden decide to vote your damn self as an honorary parent of this child. Who the hell is you? Your job was to watch her. Your job wasn't to raise her. That was your job. Somebody's supposed to do it. Who the fuck voted you in? That's arrogant as hell. That ain't your job. Now, granted, y'all, this is the part that's gonna piss y'all off. Granted, I'm finna go back and forth because I never had a babysitter at 12 years old. I'm in middle school. Who the hell watching me for what?
This is
hell. I'm already
nowadays, latchkey kid. I mean, we still do it in in the hood or whatnot because we ain't got no choice. But that's common, dog. That is common. You don't get to just leave your kid in the house like when we were kids. It wasn't right when we were kids.
No,
Hell,
it
that's why
wasn't.
you had 13-year-olds having babies.
But yeah, I'm just going so back and forth. But I'm so back and forth. Well, first of all, I'm not believing the story. I'm just gonna get that out there out the
I'm
way. I'm not believing the story. Second of all, even if I was to believe the story, everybody's an a-hole in this. Um, I'm sorry. I don't heard so many parents have the rainbow baby, and I understand exactly what it
The
is.
hell
I
is a rainbow
understand.
baby?
The rainbow baby is a person, the woman who goes through several miscarriages, and now they had a child, and that child is known as the
Oh, miracle
rainbow
baby.
baby,
the
Oh,
the
mirror.
okay.
miracle baby,
Yeah.
the blessed baby, or the blessing baby, or however you want to
Uh,
put it. I
Okay,
done read
I
so
got
many
you. I'm
stories
with you now. I'm
about this
sorry.
that you could not explain to me how you was blessed, and I'm gonna give it that to you, that you were blessed to have a child while going through a lot of miscarriages. What I don't understand in a million years is why the fuck you not raising that blessing. Spoiling that child is not why you've had that child. That doesn't even make any sense. I
But
mean,
who's deciding
seriously,
what spoiling looks like, though?
I don't think they see it as spoiling.
no, well, not this
It
story.
could
I don't know
be.
what
It
the.
could be
Trust me, that's
spoiling,
why I
but
said
who's
I
It
don't
could
believe
be,
say?
this story.
but
I don't
do
know what.
they see it that way?
I don't. But then figure it out. How
No,
far are
but
we
here's
gonna
the
go
thing.
with your
Check it out.
12-year-old damn child until she figure out Santa Claus ain't real? 15?
First of all, hold on. 12 years old. Let's break it down a little bit.
12 years old.
12 years old is a sixth grader. It's 1 year out of
Well,
elementary
that
school.
depends. Did you turn 12? Are you in the 6th or are you in the 7th?
Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Was your
Okay.
birthday on August
Then I
15th
then I'm gonna
or
Kids
stop playing
September
with you. I'm
1st?
gonna
are.
stop
All
playing with you.
right.
I stopped believing in Santa Claus way before the damn 6th grade.
But that's you.
That's
And how does
That's
it
literally
hurt
what I
you?
grew up with.
And how does it hurt you if some other person still does? Where's the
Oh,
harm to you?
wait a
Where's the
minute.
harm
I'm
to you,
sorry. Wait a
Marlon?
minute. Hold on. Okay, I'm finna answer your question with a question. I'm sorry. No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. I'm being very serious with this. Take that same analogy and tell other sixth graders and or seventh graders. Let you have whichever grade you want, and tell them why are you so bothered that this person still believes in Santa Claus, and see if that doesn't stop the bullying.
Yeah. I love that you put it that way because what you just did was you created a false situation. Because here's what the child was going to. No,
What?
hear me, Marlon. Marlon, hear what I'm about to say.
I'm
The
stopping.
story, the story we're just talking about, and the reason why I asked you why it's a problem for you is because in both cases we're talking about an adult talking about a child. The child, still believing in sixth grade, knows that most of her peers or his peers, I remember the gender of the child, most of their peers
Was it her?
do not believe,
Think of her.
right? Okay, her. So she knows most of her peers no longer believe, but she still does. So what do you think she's going to do? She's not going to walk up and down the halls talking about how much she believes in Santa Claus, but
Right.
she is going to still hold her belief, and she's going to confide in the adults, and she's going to confide in her family that that's what she believes. So the reason this even becomes a problem is because the adult in her life decided to take it on themselves to say that this is no longer appropriate at your age. That's so it's like that's the point we're coming from. So other little kids, will they be little monsters? Absolutely. They'll be monsters regardless. But that child knows how, well, hopefully knows or may learn how to navigate that. The adults are the problem here. And it's like, and it still comes back to it. When someone is queer, why does it bother the next person that that person's queer? Because that's not your life. That person believes in the tooth fairy. Why does it bother you that that person believes in the tooth fairy? Why does it bother any? I mean, even if it bothers you, why is it your business to intrude upon the other person's beliefs that have no outside impact.
I mean, do you think children will suffer a detriment if they don't come to grips with the truth, quote unquote? You know, like,
I do think children will suffer a detriment from the lie itself. It's a social lie that we've all agreed to just let be. But I don't personally, I really wish we did not perpetuate that fucking story. I hate it. But
I did have
it is the
issue.
social custom. And
I
I
did
am
have-
not going to be the one to go and mess up somebody else because I decided that I'm tired of it.
I did have an issue
hey, would you tell somebody
years
that
ago.
their religion is wrong, that their belief?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any difference?
Yeah.
And
I would.
this is literally why I said
I know you.
If their religion is having a social impact and
Yeah.
is a problem, yeah, I'm gonna speak that. But you know what? I'm not gonna speak it to a child.
Yeah.
I have an issue. I have an issue, and I guess me, I'm going to paint myself as the age itself. I wish me being a parent,
Mhm.
I just cannot have my 12-year-old child still sit there thinking that Santa Claus is real. However, that being said, there was a story, and it's about wrestling. Let's see if Parker can pick up on it since he's in wrestling.
I'm about to say because you enjoy fantasy.
Yeah, I do. You're not gonna hurt my feelings about wrestling. Yeah, we got.
I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just saying that fantasy is fine because it's grown, because it's real and it's sitting in front of you. But this fantasy over here that is based on imagination and whimsy,
And I'm gonna tell you,
that's a problem.
I literally will tell you I will literally tell you the difference, and with the same story, because I had an issue with one of the wrestlers saying when I was at a very early age where I could understand my mom. So it was like not even 12, but like 7 or 8. And his mom said, "What is Santa?" Well, he said, "What is Santa Claus giving me?" And my mom said, "Santa Claus is real. I didn't work my butt off all this time to get you stuff for you to give it to some fat white man that fantasized coming down a chimney." And
yeah, I've heard that growing up.
And he said, "Thank you, Mom. Thank you for telling me the truth. I really appreciate it." So I'm like, and now you're in wrestling. So I don't even know exactly how to take this, that you wanted to be realistic about a fantasized individual, but then you went into I call it a sport. Shut
You know
up.
what's funny what you just said? Not about the wrestling part, but like it was that part that I know I've heard as well growing up as a young black person about, I'm working my butt off every day to get these things, and you ain't gonna get this credit to some fat white guy, right? I heard that growing up too, not from my parents, but I heard it, right?
Wow.
But here's the funny thing, and it takes me back to, I think it was Malcolm X in one of his speeches. He had said, "We the only one, black people, we the only ones that struggle with having a Santa Claus that looks like us." You can go to almost any other culture, and their Santa looks like them. We are the ones who keep trying to push these weird things in because we grew up in a Eurocentric world.
We're talking about America. And then we're in America. I love you, baby. Have a good night. We're talking about America, and when you sitting there talking about the only Santa that you ever had growing up, intellectual, growing up as an adolescent, as a teen, as an adult, the only version that you've seen is a white Santa. It
not
wasn't
me.
very long. It wasn't that very far ago that we had black Santas.
We've had black Santas since the 60s.
Oh, I'm sorry. In Atlanta? Because in Charlotte, it was very rarely my ass. That's not even damn true.
They're not prevalent. But yes, in Atlanta, you see it all the time.
That I see a black Santa.
Yeah, yes, in Atlanta, you see it all the time. But what I'm saying is, black Santas have been around since the Black Renaissance of the 60s, right? Because that's when we started pushing back and creating our own identities and insisting on our identities. Now, whether or not we were in circles that adopted that and gave that to our children, that's on us. That's on us on that part. Okay, because we are also a part of this sickness of America, where we have always taken on whiteness and just accepted it as normative. We had white Jesus, we had white Santa, we had white tooth fairies, we had white everything, and it was systematically just beat into us. It didn't even have to be done intentionally. It's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? But coming out of the 60s, where we started to truly embrace the fact that black is beautiful, where we started phasing out using black as a precursor to an insult, that was when we started coming out with these things. And that's why you've been hearing me saying it for years. That's why I reject whiteness. I don't reject white people. I reject whiteness. I reject centering Eurocentric things. I reject that shit. They can do it. We can do other things and still live in harmony and work with each other and live life. You should not place any other group above your own. At best, y'all should be parity. You should never be looking at, well, white people are better than me. Asian people are better than me. No, 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 no. You are the shit. Whatever group you come from, you're the shit. And you need to love that shit. White people need to love being white. Black people need to love being black. And then we need to love being people. And then we need to decide what the fuck we want to have, what kind of world we want to live in, and work towards that shit. That's what we need to do. But anyway, got me on a soapbox. Coming back. Santa Claus.
No,
Why?
I'm just thinking to myself, if I was tallying up this thing, how much money do you owe the show?
Oh, you said I ain't got to pay after. I ain't know I had to pay nothing no way. I just knew I wasn't supposed to do it. So anyway,
you owe $7. You're not getting out of that.
That's bad math. That's bad math. I don't know about that one. But anyway, and weird exchange rate. But Santa Claus.
It's America.
That thing about, I'm not going to give credit to some. That has some really deep roots. That is a reflection of the fact that our community is disproportionately impoverished, and we work hard for every fucking nickel we can put our hands on. And especially if you are dealing with single parents or parents who are working really tough menial jobs, the idea that on this day we're going to wake up and you're going to be excited and give credit to something that I already know doesn't exist. Yeah, I can see how that can grate your nerves. Yeah. But what I'll say to you as a parent, though, here's what I say to you as a parent. Is it about you? For one day,
I knew you was going to go there.
Is it about you? Because, and it's fine if it is. And if it is, then raise your child that way from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Right? Because Jehovah's Witnesses do it all the time. They raise their children to not believe in this stuff. And you know what their children do? They go to school and they keep that shit to themselves. They don't go around breaking everybody else's belief systems and everything like that. Mm-hmm. That's what you owe each other. Let them have their life, you have your life, and then y'all go play with Tonka trucks on the sandbox. I don't fucking care. But instead, people always want to intrude their broken belief systems and broken feelings and broken inadequacies onto other people. You feel inadequate and frustrated that you got to work so hard to buy these toys to give to your kid. That's fine. That's some grown shit. Handle that shit. But don't go around trying to mess it up for other people. What do you get out of that? Spreading misery. What you get from that, man? You a sorry ass motherfucker when you start getting like that, because now your feelings are all fucked up. You got to get that sorted out, because now you're going to make other little broken children to go out there and do that shit too. You don't believe in Santa, don't believe in Santa. You don't want to do Christmas, don't do Christmas. You don't want to do this, don't do this. Whatever. I don't do Halloween. Couple weeks, 2 weeks from now, when Halloween comes, I'm going to be in my basement, lights off, chilling. But I'm not going to go and sit on the porch, turn all the lights on, not have no candy. And when the kids come up and be like, it's a dumbass pagan holiday, right? I'm not doing that. Anyway.
All right. Foxy's videos of the week. And just in case y'all think that I'm slipping off, no, I'm not slipping off. We're going a little over the time frame. So I know I said that there was a Mafia video of the week. We will play that tomorrow on our serious day, because Saturday wasn't supposed to be serious. But
hey, is tomorrow the day we talk about the war? Is that what we talk about tomorrow? Is that what happened?
yes,
We're talking
we're
about,
literally going to
that's
talk
the day
about
I get.
the war,
That's the
and
day I get you demonetized. That's what happens. Huh? That what happened? That happened.
First of all, we ain't going to be demonetized because we ain't monetized now. So, yes, tomorrow we're going to talk about the war, and I guarantee you it's going to pretty much take over the whole first hour, because there's a lot of things that y'all going to hear off my chest. I know Thea's got a lot of things to say. I know Anna got a lot of things to say. I'm just going to give you a fair warning. You're going to hear all my shit tomorrow. It took me a good hour to calm the hell down, because the needle that's running is running fast, and every time that needle moves, it's pissing me off more and more and more. I don't want to get into it tonight. I really don't, because we will run all way over to the 1 o'clock hour, and I do not have the energy. I don't have the energy to do it. So let's go ahead. But yes, we will get into the war tomorrow. So prepare for that, because man. Anyway, my wife.
But I got to cut out in like 10 minutes. I got to run.
17 seconds. My wife is cheating on me.
So I found out my wife has been cheating on me.
What are you talking about?
Say what you just said.
I said I'll be back in an hour max.
Exactly. My name's Sebastian.
Oh my god, I can't.
I don't get it.
I'll be back in an hour, Max. My name is Sebastian.
Oh.
Did I get that?
You got it.
I got it.
Okay, I only got about 10 minutes, so let me go ahead and give this to Thea's, because this is something that he would like. Wait a minute. I'm gonna do this one. The comparison between Tupac and Senator Feinstein.
I'm going to demonstrate to you what the left would sound like if they were the right. We're supposed to just believe that Dianne Feinstein died the same day they arrested Tupac's killer. We're not supposed to question the timing of this. It's all a coincidence. That's what we're supposed to believe. You think these things have nothing to do with one another? Well, then you're brainwashed. Good thing I'm a free thinker. The parallels are right in front of you. First of all, Tupac Shakur, 4 syllables. Dianne Feinstein, 4 syllables.
Interesting.
Tupac Shakur, we are told, died 27 years ago. What is 2 plus 7? 9. That just happens to be the amount of decades Dianne Feinstein lived. Damn! Dianne Feinstein was a senator from what state? California. And what was one of Tupac's biggest hits? Was it New York Love? Was it Florida Love? No. It was California Love. The answers have been in front of us this whole time. There's a reason why Dianne Feinstein and Tupac were never photographed in the same room together. The reason is this. The shadow government wants you to believe that they arrested Tupac's killer, when in actuality, they arrested Dianne Feinstein's killer today. Because Tupac and Dianne Feinstein are the same person. And that's the way it is. It's the new world order, folks. Sign up for my newsletter. Get 50% off of boner pills with the code word Cabal 2023. This is Dianne Feinstein having a town hall meeting, everybody.
we can sit here and be shocked, and we know it's a parody, and we know it's supposed to be funny, and all those things. And it was funny. We also got to come to the realization that there are some people who believe this shit. Sorry, but you do. Even if you don't believe the whole thing, there's a portion of it that you can't believe that two separate events are in no way, shape, or form are connected. But you're going to connect it. So, Diz, I'm going to let you have the floor since I'm pretty sure you're down to 5 minutes now.
No. I mean, I'm with you. I agree with you. One thing I would say is, I draw a distinction between election deniers and QAnon thinkers, right? So QAnon people, in my opinion, they ain't hurt nobody but themselves. They gonna get out there, they gonna have their picnics, they gonna have their good times, and they gonna talk about dumb shit like Robert F. Kennedy ain't really dead and stuff like. Fine, do you, that is no sweat off my back whatsoever. Um, until you start trying to run for Congress like Marjorie Taylor Greene and you try to bring that kooky stuff in, that's when you got to have some action and you need to be filtering stuff like that out. But that falls on the voters who need to take individual responsibility for their votes. People want to not take individual responsibility and just want to say, well, hey, I vote for a Democrat, I vote for a Republican. And so, I mean, it's not my fault that they're this way or that way. No, that really is, partially your fault, because if that's your representative and you voted for that representative, whether you did it because you agree with that person specifically or it's because they're on the same team that you like, that's on you. Like that's you. You voted against them, not on you. Voted for them, that's on you, right? And then like I kind of find it interesting when I listen to them try to, do algebra and geometry and English lit and French philosophy and bring it together to make eggs. It's kind of fun. I enjoy listening to them do it. It's just kind of cool. So do your thing.
You got anything, Anna?
No.
All right, quick video. I'm trying to get Theas out of here on time. Theas and I have discussed this before. I don't know if Anna has before, but Theas has preached this more than I have. It's not the sentence. It's the content of where you put the most adjective wording of it is. So I'm going to play a video where it is literally one sentence. But because he put an emphasis on a different word, it changes the whole content of that sentence.
I didn't say we should kill him. 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 I didn't say we should kill him.
Same
Which
sentence.
goes back to what I said earlier. If you struggle with putting a complete thought together in print, I need you to say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is. But I wanted to show that video because me personally, this has always been the Republicans' arguing point. If you look at what the wording is, they always say the same sentence. Did you say this? I did say that. You should kill them. Well, I didn't say we should kill them. I just said and blah, blah, blah bullshit later on.
Both sides do that though, bro.
They do. But I don't like the Republicans, so I'm putting it on Republicans. So But that's what I'm saying is that's how they change the conclusion of how you think about the sentence that they said. They will acknowledge that they said it. I got a better way of saying it. Their whole mentality of using take it out of context by saying that you're concentrating on the wrong wording. I said we should kill them. I didn't say we. I didn't say. See, it's the same sentence. They'll agree with what they said, but you took it
I'll
out of
give you a prime
context by
example.
putting too much emphasis on the wrong wording of that sentence.
No, I'll give you a prime example. Prime example being transgender youth. Because they will say, we need to protect our children from transgenderism. And no. Even better. One of them actually said words pretty close to, we need to stand up and eradicate the transgender threat in America. Now, think about what that says. Now, they're going to say, we're against transgenderism as though that's a religion. But the reality is what they did say and what they really meant is the only way you can eradicate transgenderism is to eradicate transgender people, and that means forced deconversion or detransition or death. That's it. So you're advocating for direct harm to someone simply because you disagree with who they are. But they can play the word game behind by saying, no, I'm against the idea. I'm against the practice. Well, that's where the media is supposed to put on the big boy or big girl pants and push back and say, well, if you're against the idea and you want to get rid of the idea and these people exist, how is that not the same thing as saying you want to get rid of the people? But they never do that.
Well, it was somehow I had a thought process in my
And I
head.
know I ate up too much time there.
I had a thought process in my head and I forgot it that quick. But I get what you're saying. But that's what they're using. Let's go ahead and keep going. Blaming Democrats.
Why didn't you stop this? Huh? Fuck you. You're asking the Democratic Party why we chose not to save the Speaker of the House. You are holding the government and the economy hostage, and you're not allowed. Stop it. Stop it. We won't forget this. We will not forget this. Forget what? The call is coming from inside your own party. Talk to the 8 people in your own party that voted to remove him. The fuck are you surprised that Democrats didn't want to save him for? Some things are more important than grandstanding. None of us said anything in the chamber. We sat on one side and watched you guys destroy yourselves. Again, why should we save the Speaker of the House? Especially after all the shit he's done since January, which, by the way, it hasn't even been a year. Well, he got burned out after dealing with you guys for 10 months. Democrats weren't the ones that made a deal with him to become Speaker. Why would we ever do that? You took this opportunity to make us look like fools. No. You took this opportunity to make yourselves look like fools. We literally did nothing. We sat there and voted yes. This is un-American. This is un-American. We will not forget this. And neither will the American people, who are all laughing at you right now. See how you govern. We see how you govern. We're mature people, which is precisely why we kicked Nancy Pelosi out of her.
It's the age-old thing. We do this every single time, and I'm glad that Hakeem Jeffries is now there. But I think Nancy would have done the same thing, because the simple thing is, Republicans, let's not argue these weird one-offs. I want you to show me where your party has voted for a Democrat Speaker of the House? Show me when that has happened and when did it happen?
Right.
You won't have any. I don't know how far back you'll have to go to get one, but it showing up won't be in the last 15 to 20 years. So where does it line up that if you will never vote for a Democrat, that a Democrat should vote for you? We literally just maintain tradition. We vote for our speaker, you vote for your speaker. And we voted for our speaker. There he is. You're voting for your speaker. There you go.
Hmm.
And it's like every other time. This is why I get frustrated with the anti-Democrat crew, which I'm actually a part of. So I get frustrated with us. But when we fail to acknowledge that when things fail, we like to blame the Democrats, but they're not the only ones at the table. The tax credit, we all talk about how Manchin was the reason why it failed. That's part of the story. Because in order for Manchin to be the reason why it failed, all the Republicans had to vote against it too. So you can focus on 2 or 3 people because it's convenient, or you can focus on 100 and some odd people and wonder why you couldn't get 10 of them.
And I want and here's my only argument that I have ever had against the Democrat, and it's so simple, but it's not. Can still hear you, Theus.
That's fine. I'm here.
Oh. But it's so simple. It's so simple what I'm saying, but I want you to Democrats. I'm just talking specifically to the Democrats. It's so simple, but you fuck it up so damn much that it's not funny. All you have to do is say the quiet part out loud. That's it. It's the most simplest fucking thing that you have to do. And that's what this guy was doing. We didn't do shit. We sat on our side, we looked at y'all fucking up and everything else, but you would never say that to the public. So the people who are literally saying it out in public, saying it out loud, saying it as loudly as they can, now they have people believing, maybe the Democrats could have said, no, fuck that. You want to play the fair game. And I'm not even saying play the fair game. I'm not even going to sit there and go tit for tat because I done got to the point where I'm not taking the higher road anymore. Fuck that. The high road ain't helped me at all. Is he using the bathroom? What the hell is he doing?
No idea.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I had to move something.
It's not like you in a toilet, though.
No, I was moving things.
Oh.
I didn't think that.
My point is, I'm not sitting there saying that you got to go with the whole bashing of the Republican Party, like the Republican Party have to bash you. All you have to do is say, hey, this is what happened. That's it. I can't even make it no more damn simpler than that. That's it. You ain't got to yell, scream, holler, cuss, pull a Republican by the head and go turn the camera on and listen to me. You ain't got to do what they're doing. You just literally have to just sit there and say, no, this is what happened. But you don't. You literally just, I'm going to let events happen the way it happened. I'm not going to say shit about it. I'm just going to let them change the narrative. I'm just going to let them get their voices and their word and their bullshit out. And I'm just going to sit back and watch. I mean, I'm not asking too much of you people. I'm really not. But you're pissing me off. You have TikTok videos that's making more common sense than your ass is. And not common sense as in knowledge. Common sense is hell. They at least saying something. You're not even doing that. You get once in a blue moon, which you will notice that I don't even want to put Democratic videos up of somebody going off and, ooh, that's the future of the Democratic Party. They really gonna take over. Fuck it, for how long? Seriously, for how long they gonna do this shit? Because when it literally become a star, silence, crickets. Hey, are you really? What is it doing? Is that somebody breaking in? What the hell is going on my show? What is it?
Look, sir. I crunk up my car. Sir. I'm sorry, my car doesn't sound like the Lexus supercar that you have, sir. Forgive me for wanting to continue to support, sir.
There's the winner took a piss. Somebody broke into the house and now driving away.
Oh my god!
I did go take a piss, but that was neither here nor there.
I don't want to hear that though. Oh God, I'm glad this is the last part of this show.
Wow.
So this is not a show. So there's something about feeling like y'all being told that the Democrats have your back and then they don't. It's not that, Susan. It is a part of that. What's pissing me off is the octaves, and God knows as of lately I hate that fucking word. But it's the octave of you are doing relatively the right thing. But nobody knows that you're doing the right thing because I don't know what the fuck is going on. Do you want people to research your right thing, or you want people to look up your right thing, or you assuming that they know you're doing the right thing? I don't know what the fuck you're doing because you ain't saying shit. Meanwhile, your enemy, bruh, we done had people who have had I have a strange feeling. I don't even know why. I'm gonna move on to the last video. I don't even know why the next voice we're gonna hear is license and registration, please.
No. Oh, don't. No.
Oh God.
Oh, it's good.
What I wanted to say though is one of the reasons the Democrats are so bad at messaging is because they have to talk to a more diverse constituency.
Do you
so
really?
That's one.
Do you really
It's
have
really
to
hard.
talk to the most diverse thing? I'm not even asking you.
Yeah, they do.
Let me say this real quick, Theas, because I've heard that argument before. I'm not asking you to talk to a most diverse group. I'm just asking you to talk.
I agree with you.
The message groups on to somebody else. I get that.
Okay.
But what your good work is doing, flow. And you're not saying nothing.
No, but they don't have a lot of good work to report.
To report what's really going on. That's my point. I don't see we don't got to a point where everything has to be a plan and an analogy and a thing. And I'm not even asking that. I'm literally saying the most simplest concept is no. Oh, yeah, just like this guy said. Oh, y'all just got in our way and tear everything down. And I would sit there and tell them, look, all we did from outside was sit down and let y'all do what y'all want to do. Is that pinpointing the group that we're talking to? Absolutely not. All I'm saying is I'm just telling the truth of what's going on. That's it. What y'all want to do after that, that's fine. But
But Marlon, what I'm trying to get at is
You
there's
can
an
put the
incentive
camera on. We saw
structure.
you for a second.
I know, but the camera's on. You ain't seen nothing but the black screen. So, and
I
then I
see
see the
it.
tail light
Oh,
and
you're
stuff
kind
like
of
that. So
red.
there's my hand. But
License and registration, please.
Oh,
that's why. Then I definitely need to be streaming for that. So
boy.
Yeah.
the thing I'm trying to get at in a way is there's an incentive structure, and we created it. Okay, so if they do try to do something, we will punish them, because if you do something, you got to make a mess to do it. All right, we've had this discussion before. So it becomes in their political best interest not to do anything. Then we also have the situation of anything you say won't be good enough. So if you're trying to actually deliver on things, you're trying to do things for the American more than the Republicans, the Democrats are, it still ain't enough because they're not trying to do a lot. And they also can't do a lot because of the way we structure our government. So then it would actually hurt them to come out and talk about what they still cannot do. Right? On one level, we'll say, well, at least tell us what you're trying to do. No, because then we're going to chop you up so hard for not delivering on what you said you wanted to do. So it's better for them to stay quiet. What I would love to see, and I think every president can do this, once a month, you get out there and you have a 20-minute, it's just you doing your fireside chat, that throwback shit, and you just talk about
You talk about really
hey, sorry
important.
about that. I went through
That
can
is
y'all
the
hear me?
worst time to cut
Can y'all hear
off.
me
That
now?
is so funny.
Can hear you
The
now.
first thing that you need to tell them is,
And then
Can y'all?
we got you
No.
now.
we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I went through a dead spot, I think. But
Be careful, please.
basically, the president needs to just take 20 minutes once a month or whatever the frequency. We're in a digital world now,
Yeah.
and just get out there and just talk. Right? Hey,
Mhm.
here's what we want to do, and this is the legislation that my office has sent to Congress, and we haven't had any movement on it because of this. Schumer should do the same thing, right? But instead, all of them, Democrat and Republican, are okay with just playing the game. So no one does anything.
Okay, but this is where I'm asking, where do you want them to talk? Every single senator and rep have websites, newsletters, they have voting records, you can see what they're doing. Like, where do you need them to talk?
And that has always
So,
been my issue, is that's what I was trying to convey.
but no. This is actually an easy one,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
So the media is going to naturally follow what is the most controversial, right?
Okay.
And like you said, they all got their own little platform. So, let me text my daughter, let her know I'm here.
What the hell was she, up the street? You could have walked that.
Well, not if she has anything to bring home, and
But here's my thing while Theus is frozen.
Yeah.
Get a chance in. Because you can't say nothing.
I'm back.
Damn it.
Yeah,
point
While
is-
Theus is frozen,
busted.
Here's my thing that I was trying to say is my agenda. I have an agenda. My deal is when you have started making anything that you say a part of a plan. I have a problem with that because you're figuring, okay, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to achieve? And regardless of what it is, if you're trying to achieve popularity, if you're trying to achieve more money, if you're trying to achieve more sponsorship, just for last term of words, are you trying to achieve more support? Whatever it is. And then you work backwards to go, okay, well, I can't say that. And I'm thinking, why? Because what you're saying is not a controversial statement. Nothing that I'm telling you to say is controversial.
Which is why I won't get covered.
But I'm back on
there's
everything.
only
You have websites
so there's only
all over the
downside.
fucking place. Just say it.
No, that's just it. They are saying it on their websites. Some of them they are, but the thing is, we don't want that. We want something that is much more entertaining. What I would say, my counter is, no, I don't want to hear from a random senator. Like Warnock is going to annoy me because he never actually talks like a person, right?
Okay.
But
yeah.
Joe Biden is the president. That means he can get a camera anytime he wants to, because it will be covered simply because he's the president.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But John Ossoff is a Georgia senator. Unless he's saying something radical or challenging or spicy, he'll get ignored. Pete Buttigieg can say something and he'll always have coverage. So I'm just saying, those are the ones who can always get a camera. Now, the other ones, they just need to be those who are known for straight talk and being legit. I just opened the trunk for you, babe. I just opened the trunk for you. All right. Well, anyway, good night, y'all. Have a good one. My baby's here.
Have a good night, sis.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good night, Niecy.
What?
Niecy?
Oh, you said Niecy. Okay, because I need to be careful, right?
What
so let me clarify what Marlon just
said?
said. My ex-wife's name is Missy, so it sounded like you said that. That is not what he said, folks. He said Niecy. He was talking about my daughter. So
being a brother and then the child of the brother.
Y'all, yes.
Have a good night, niece.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Good night. Last video of the night. So we can literally put this argument to rest. This stupid argument. I'm not even going to come for anybody, and I'm going to break this video up seriously because I've heard this way too much. It's stupid argument. It doesn't work in modern day America. The Democrats was part of the Civil War.
What exactly am I confused about there, Screech? Ask yourself why it was the Democrats that not only led the Confederacy but opposed and ended Reconstruction. Because the Democratic Party was founded in 1828 by supporters of Andrew Jackson, who were Southern agrarian states' rights conservatives. They tended to be fucking pro-slavery. By the time of the Civil War, the Democratic Party was split basically into two factions, Northern and Southern, so much so that they ran two different presidential candidates in 1860. That's the only reason Abraham Lincoln was able to win, because there was a Northern Democratic candidate and a Southern Democratic candidate. So the Democrats split their votes, and Abraham Lincoln won. Even by fucking 1860, Northern Democrats were not supportive of slavery. Post-Civil War, the Democratic Party supported federal intervention in the economy to help out poor people because they wanted the federal government to help out poor whites. That continued until basically FDR with the Tennessee Valley Authority putting a lot of fucking Southern white people back to work. The problem was Southern Democrats started to realize that the Democratic Party was becoming more and more accepting of civil rights. Truman desegregated the military. Kennedy and Johnson desegregated schools. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. By 1965, it wasn't the same fucking party as it was in 1865. How the fuck do you people think you can get away with arguing that there's been no change in the parties for 160 years? You're out here seriously arguing that the Democratic Party is still an agrarian, states' rights, pro-slavery party from the 19th century, and you don't think that that's fucking insane. But yeah, you're right. I'm fucking confused.
That was perfectly said.
I am not on this show going to talk about this ever again. I am sick
Go,
and
Chris.
tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it because you're not coming in good faith. You found this out on a page from somewhere else. I don't even know where. And you keep
A
using
talking
it.
point from the Heritage Foundation.
This country has been here for over 200 years. Let that sink in for a second. Do you honestly think something that started over 200 years is still going to have the same basis in 2023? Let that sink in. Okay, let me use another analogy because some of y'all go question it again. When the founding fathers did the Declaration of Independence, we was using muskets. Do you understand what muskets is? Muskets is that little gun where you had to put a whole bunch of ingredients into the damn barrel of the gun before you could fire it.
Powder.
2023. All you had to do was put a magazine in. That's it. Let's go back a little further. We're going to talk about the founding fathers and everything else. Please explain to me, please find some letters or anything that associate with them thinking or even a possibility of in the 200 plus years later, we will be using the Second Amendment to create a gun that can go into schools to kill our kids. I'll wait. So stop trying to gaslight any of us on bullshit that you don't even have an inkling of trying to learn about history. You're going by catchphrases or statements or small little analogies about history and think you have figured this country out. We're talking about the 1900s. They didn't even have planes. They didn't even have the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and the Coast Guard. They had the military. And even then,
militias.
Yeah, and militias. And even then, it was, I'm sorry, let me think. Army, Navy, in the 19th century, you had North and South. That was your military. North and South. Yet you figure in your mind that everything that happened in the 19th century, no planes, no radio, no TV, no electricity, that you have figured out that everything that happened then should be happening now. Which is funny to me personally, because if we was actually going to go completely with the Constitution that should literally be updated every 9 years, which is like literally in the Constitution, now you want to change that to, well, do we really need to go with the Constitution because the Constitution is outdated? No shit. Stop it. You are bad faith actors who have the only agenda that you have in your mind. You work backwards. You've always done that. You work backwards. You have the agenda in your mind, and then you find weak ass arguments to support your arguments. Notice one thing about what I'm saying. I'm literally going out of my way of not insulting you. I'm not. I don't want to insult you anymore. I really don't. I'm not going to do that stupid idiot, blah, 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 and all that other stuff. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just literally telling you something that you're not used to hearing and you refuse to accept. And that's facts. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving you facts. Look it up yourself. And if you decide you don't want to look at it because you think it's fake, then I know you're a bad faith actor and you're not even trying to. You have an agenda. You want to stick to an agenda. You're going to look up any of your facts to support your agenda, and we're going to move on. Cool. Own it. But when you sit there and talk about, well, the Democratic Party was the one that accepted slavery, well, they don't anymore. What's your point? It's the Republican Party. Now, I'm not saying the whole Republican Party anymore, but deep down in my heart, I know the majority of the Republican Party would have absolutely no problem whatsoever bringing slavery back. At all. But you go ahead and have your little argument and think that you're helping out the country. Meanwhile, you're fucking over the American people. So I don't know exactly how much of a saving of the country that you're doing. So let's break it down a little bit more and just say, you're not really helping out America. You're not really helping out the American people. You're really helping the agenda.
And you don't even realize you're being fed your talking points. All of these, but look, it was the Democrats that started the Civil War. But look, over here, over there, all these distractions, those like the Heritage Foundation really would love us to be concentrated on those. But are we talking about Project 2025? Do you know what that is, Marlon?
I've heard it before, but go ahead and explain.
It is a the basic conservative plan on steroids to get everybody from president on down ready to take office in January of 2025 and serve the conservative their agenda. You're absolutely right. And they want to make absolutely severe cuts that you won't like. This is a plan that it's printed out. And you know what? Heritage Foundation, they are looking for soldiers. They are looking for people that feel really tiny. And we can give you a nice pat on the back and say, yep, you welcome to the revolution, brother. But a totally different revolution. They want to be able to consolidate power. They want to be able to change the Constitution. And only by getting people into place, and they've been working on this for quite some time. Look, if I cannot explain because there is too much in this. It is a dreadful document for the people that we see other people as human beings and just want everybody to do well, you know? Eh, they have an evil plan. So I'll give you a name. Leeja, Leeja Miller. She's a lawyer. She talks about the most incredible points of history that I never was able to flesh out why we are at the state we are at before I was watching her explain what things were put into place in the Reagan administration. Reagan was handed a plan very much like this. They say this one is like that plan, but on steroids. Look at how much Reagan changed this country. They want to do it again. They want to do it. And so Leeja Miller, she went through, she read it. She will break it down. It's about a half an hour video, but you know what? It's about time. Like, Theus always says, our enemies are always moving. They're always on the move. They're always doing something. They're always planning. They are looking forward, even if it's 50 years. Where are we? That's my problem with the Democrats. I mean, we don't have anything better in place in the grand scheme of things. I would love to see third parties. I would love to see ranked choice voting. Need a whole bunch of things to happen. Right now, we need to make sure fascism doesn't completely take hold. And I'm not being hyperbole.
No. Reagan is the purest form of what I said about a smarter Trump.
Yeah.
And I thought it was DeSantis, but guess that's out the damn window because hell, I didn't see that. I personally didn't even see that coming. Like, I was fearing DeSantis. I'm be truthful with you. I was fearing DeSantis. Like, I
I
figured
still would
DeSantis was the
fear
smart.
because he's still second,
Yeah, but you
and
see the number of the second. Like, Trump is literally like
I get that.
352 and 47, and DeSantis is like 13 to 15. It's like, oh my good Lord.
He doesn't need to have the strength of the people behind him in this.
Yeah, but my point was that I always said a smarter Trump. Reagan was a smarter Trump.
Yeah.
Reagan literally knew how to play the game. And he knew how to play the year long. And I don't want to call it a con because it wasn't a con. He knew how to play the years long, let alone the decade long plan. And he knew how to sell it to the American people as saying, this is in your best interest. This is always
a magic trick.
Welfare queen was Reagan. That's where it came from. His administration. That's where it came from. So you automatically sit there and say, I'm going to give you assistance on helping you out as you go through this journey of raising a child while working a dead-end job, and then vilify you for asking for assistance for working a dead-end job with a child. He was the master of doing this. I've said this on this show a lot of times about othering people. I would,
welfare.
I would hate. I don't even use that word very much. I would hate if the word others was in Reagan's era. Reagan would have mastered the ability to separate this country with that knowledge. Woke, and we're done. We're literally done. We would not. I would think his effectiveness on this country would not have changed until Obama. Yes, you heard me. It would have skipped Clinton.
Yep. And look at how Clinton had to change the whole Democratic, once again, the Democratic Party changes, and because it has to keep up with the times. And so this old style economic, but hey, we're still inclusive enough that, all you guys want to be over here and vote for us, right? Right?
Yeah. And Mother Hart said it good. He was good at looking like Big Daddy. Reagan has the ability to make it seem like every decision that he made was in America's best interest, regardless if it was certain Americans. But that was his greatest ability. He had that ability that hasn't been seen again since Trump. But Trump does not have the political intelligence that Reagan had. He just didn't. But it was the same fucking works. It was the same thing. You would take. I'll put it to you this way. I would tell you the difference between Reagan and Trump. Trump was ran by people who worked for him. No, sorry. Let me say that. Yeah. Did I say Trump first?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Trump
was ran by people who worked for him. He had the charisma to put their effed up analogy out there because he had the charismatic ability to put it out there. No, Reagan ran shit. So
Reagan had handlers as well.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Reagan had the ability to go, oh, there's a difference between Trump would listen to people and he knew where his bread was butter and go, I could sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Reagan had the ability to go, oh, that's a good idea. We'll run for it. I know it's going to fuck up people, but we'll run for it. Reagan also had the ability to go, no, that shit ain't going to work. Come up with something. Now, and here's the difference between Reagan and Trump. Reagan would tell you, yeah, that's going to fuck up a lot of people, but that plan ain't going to work. Come with something better. I want the same outcome, but that idea ain't going to work. Come up with something better. And that's Reagan. The only thing I literally ever given Reagan in all my existence of Reagan was that during Reagan, this country was the most protected damn country on the face of the planet during his time. Wasn't nobody fucking with Reagan's America. Because Reagan had absolutely no problem fucking you up and then making you feel like it's your fault that I fucked you up. He was the abusive partner.
Mm.
I didn't want to do this, but you made me do it. And I can sell it to the American people that it's your fault. And no, Reagan wasn't the only president that ever did that. Yeah, we're talking about Reagan. So fuck that. We're not going there. We're talking about Reagan right now. Reagan had the ability to fuck up a country and then find a way to sell it to the American people that it was the country's fault that we fucked them up.
Mm.
He had that great of ability. Trump couldn't do that because he just simply had the inability to tell the truth. I don't understand. But anyway, but that's Reagan. That's
Yeah.
scary. So woke and others in the Reagan area, this damn country would have been fucked up until Obama. And by the way, alternate world, I really don't even think that would have been an Obama.
Right. I was just gonna say. Oh,
I
then
was
the
putting
thing.
a time frame on how long it would affect, but honestly,
Yeah.
don't think it would have even been an Obama. That's how far I think his stretch would have been if just those two words, two phrases, two ideologies, however you want to put it, would have been in the Reagan era.
Yeah. If he didn't.
Been an Obama.
But yeah, here's the thing: no matter which, if they get a Republican into the next presidential seat, they will be given. It's called Project 2025. And I really do urge you all to look this up, give it a read. It's serious.
No, Anna, you're not being hyperbolic at all. It's not just the U.S. It's a lot of Western Europe.
Yep.
I don't think much about Eastern Europe, but I think it's there too. I'm praying that the long enough timeline where we win is getting a little shorter. We'll see, Susan. I'm just saying. But I'm still fighting, winning where I can. Fuck thoughts and prayers along. Right. Parker. Imagine we have gotten a Jesse Jackson versus Reagan debate in 1985, the first time Jesse ran for president. That would have been a historic debate. Would it? It would have been historic. It would have been a historic along the lines of, oh God, Frederick Douglass and Parker, help me out. Who was the debate that Frederick Douglass had with either a president or a presidential candidate? Because he did have a debate against one of those. I don't know if he was a presidential candidate or he was in there, but Frederick Douglass did have a debate along those lines. Also, while everybody's looking that up, thanks everybody for jumping in here real quick. I appreciate it. Also, while everybody's looking that up, I didn't think Jesse Jackson was the right person for the Democratic Party to run for president. He was good for the community. I appreciate for what he did for the community, but I don't want him running. I don't want him running the country. Because people keep thinking running the country does not supersede international affairs, and there was no experience with that. And you got to remember, during that time, we was going through the Cold War.
Abe Lincoln and the Douglas debates?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yep. Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Yep. So it has happened before. In which that situation occurred. The reason why Lincoln won was because the Democratic Party at that time, you blittering, no, never mind, I didn't say I was going to insult you, at that time was split during the transition between going pro and anti-slavery. So the timing was perfect, if you want to say that. The timing was perfect during the Democratic Party of splitting between anti and pro-slavery that, whoop, Abraham Lincoln slipped in.
Yeah, and I mean, if we were alive back in the mid-century, 19th century, but we probably would have been voting Republican.
Yeah, we would have. We would have.
But yes, the parties did have a moral switch.
And it happened because people don't understand that there was another party called the Whig Party.
Yeah.
Anybody know anything about that? No, because they're not here anymore. So for you to keep thinking everything that happens in the 19th century will be happening now, explain the Whig Party to me. You don't know anything about there was a Whig Party, do you? Let's be honest, you don't.
There are lots.
There was a lot of parties.
Republicans. There was the Federalists. There was
a lot of parties back then.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people who had their own agenda, right or wrong, and they would split it up as much as they possibly can. But you don't know that anything about that. Because unfortunately, now I'm going to jump into the 2023 and realize that because we have a corporation of two parties, Republican, Democrat. The hell with history.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get these two comments in here so we can get out of the way. Things jumped off at the right time because good gracious.
Ooh, yeah.
The debates were between Lincoln and Stephen Douglas, who was the Democratic nominee for the president. It was not Frederick Douglass. I thought it was Frederick Douglass. I did not think it was Stephen Douglas. Well, I had to look that up. Was it Lincoln Douglas? Stephen Douglas, white man. I thought it was Franklin Douglas.
Okay. I just saw Lincoln Douglas. And I was like, what? Is that it?
Okay, so to make sure that I don't look like a belligerent idiot, I'm going to look it up when we get off air. No, I'm not. I'm going my ass to bed. I just don't even care.
Tomorrow. We will look it up tomorrow.
All right, everybody. So we don't get into a big brouhaha. We know what tomorrow's show is going to be about. We all know what it's going to be about. It's going to take up the full first hour, which probably means I'm going to have to come up with some funny crap into the second hour. So
this is going to be a heavy subject, and yeah, we're going to need some. We're going to need some drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop and get me some beer before I even get on because I'm gonna need something to tranquilize me. I don't know how the best way of saying it. Anna, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at borreliaetc.com. There's also the YouTube channel and Instagram.
Please go ahead and support Tracy Carson Media LLC. You can support Theas on Complex Mind, Simple Man. I don't have to say his name, right? He ain't here no more.
But go to their websites. They have good websites.
And they have good websites. Please go ahead and support them. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. Surprisingly enough, we have literally a bunch of people watching us. They're still here. So please go ahead and hit that like button. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace. Oh, this is not here. Ted Cruz, and them, and not Nancy Pelosi. What's the other dude's name?